What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and of course, hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the family here. A new week, resetting a new week. The boards are reset, but we got some big things to talk about here in this upcoming game right around the corner. We're just continuing the discussion we had over the weekend about these Seattle Seagulls. All right, we're going to talk about them. You see them in their new uniform, in their throwback uniforms. That's what they'll be wearing against us this week in Dallas. We'll be wearing that Daron Bland uniform minus the stripe on that helmet. So, again, guys, we'll talk about all these things you see on your screen and more. Kicking off a new week, but some same old faces when it comes to representation on these boards. And you got to start off with the man Snug X back-to-back, like our 90s Cowboys. Where did he rep, baby? The top two spots on the board.
Of course, the sponsor of the week and the Cash App King.
Much love to Snug X. You know why he's here.
Yes, you do. And of course, if you look up above, Mr. Jason Renfro has got 74 points on the stream, boss. You're repping that O-line. Yeah. And a huge shout out to Mary Alvarez, who's the membership queen.
Yes, the membership queen this time, taking that from Jason Renfro after his back-to-back wins there on the membership gifting board. Much love to everybody. Since we have a new week, there's nobody in the gifting board right now. There's no Cash App leader. There is no overall leader. But there is somebody who we got to represent here tonight in an extra special loud way. And you see at the bottom right of your screen, we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, there's a lot of ways to drop the love here. And you're going to need to know how to drop the love this week and maybe next week too. Because you see what's coming up, a 4-prize raffle. We'll talk about that in a minute. But if you do want to drop some love, there's Super Chat, there's a thanks button, there's jumping into memberships on your own, or, of course, gifting memberships like we just discussed. There's 4 of the ways that are, this goes on the overall board, of course, but it's also got its own little kingdom there, and that's the Cash App crown. 4 ways to support the channel on that side of things.
Of course, you have the Cash App money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
And you know what we do here with those in those top levels of our membership. We got Navy Blue Crew, a second level, that silver level 2. But then you got that star level, top shelf in it, with the over everything level. And we do the nightly shout outs for those people. So let's start off with Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical. Jason Renfro, Lincoln Kane, Mary Alvarez, our gifting queen, Andy Potched, Marissa Sparkle. Over everything you got in that category, you got Seabass. And then, last but never least, Mr. The Lunatic, the Godfather here. Why am I stressing the Lunatic's name for this, in this kind of shout out? Because he's the one putting up this 4-prize raffle.
A huge shout out to the man, the Lunatic, for helping to make this happen. But guys, yes, we have 4 awesome prizes that we're going to be raffling off during halftime of the upcoming Eagles game. Yeah,
that's a little. You see us choking out the Eagle there. That's in a couple of weeks. That's the game we're going to be doing the raffle in. So you got
Philly beat Philly.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks to build up your entries here, and let's explain what it is here. Again, there's going to be 4 different prizes, prize packages, you can say. But first, tell everybody how they can get into this thing. And
well, first, if you guys do drop $10, bam, you are automatically entered. And that is cumulative, of course. So, those entries do stack. Every $10 is an additional bonus entry. Yep. And membership does have its perks. You get an additional bonus entry if you are an MCF member.
If you're at any membership level, you get in there. Once you hit the $10 mark, you get a bonus second entry. But we talk about this. Stackable entries here, unlimited entries. Every 10 on top of that, you keep stacking and raising your chances to win one of these 4 prizes. Now, there is a first and second, third and fourth place prize. Really, it's who gets the, I guess you could say who gets the, who comes out first on the list. The person who gets, who wins the raffle as the first place prize really gets to choose what they would want here, right? So the fourth place prize, as dictated by De Lunatic, his 4-prize raffle. Fourth place
is this awesome car package, guys. Yes. Again, deck out your car with America's team. Pretty much everything you see here on the screen is going to be included in that, so really awesome.
Yeah, you got Dallas Cowboy license plate cover, that you see it right there on the right. But in the whole package on the left, you see the 2 car flags, Cowboy car flags, a Dallas Cowboy window sticker, a Dallas Cowboy lanyard, and other things in there. You can see them. So again, a great package there from the Lunatic. That's just fourth place. That's fourth place. All right. There's three prizes on top of this. You got the car package in fourth. You got this. I think this is one of the best ones here. The third place prize, a double winning prize here. Again, you got the T-shirt, right? Any name, any number there on the back of the shirt. It's a custom, any base, any name and any number is what is available here. So, you could put your name, you could put Micah Parsons 11 if you want, or Parsons, I guess, 11 in the back of that T-shirt. And I don't know if there's a size on that, but I know that there's no need for a size on the hat because that's a one of a kind. That Dallas Cowboys cap has Micah Parsons' signature embroidered on the side with that number 11, his jersey number on this. So that's a great package right here. And then you have first and second place. Same prize. It's the first place, it's second place. You get the same prize. A choice of a sewn and stitched jersey from Cowboys Mosh here. You guys know the style here.
As long as it's available.
Yep.
Any player, any style, any size, we got you.
Old school, new schools, different, all over. You guys know this. This is a star level raffles over everything raffle. Same thing here, except you got two jerseys going to two different winners. That's the first place prize. Second place prize, the same thing. Third place prize, you get this package here: T-shirt and hat, the Micah specialty signature hat there, and then fourth place, the car package, the car kit, all that good stuff. And again, these will be cumulative, right? These would stack. So if you drop 2 and then 5 and then 7, you got yourself an entry. If you're in a membership, you got another entry. And if you keep stacking another 5, another 10, then every 10 on top of that, you keep adding another entry, adding your chances, getting your chances higher and higher to win one of these 4 fantastic prizes coming to you from the Lunatic here. And we'll talk about it throughout the night. You see at the bottom right, in case you have a question, you can hit ! Raffle if you want to see the prizes, the rules, whatever it may be. And, that'll be in the background all night, all week, all next week for this big, big game against the Eagles. But before we even worry about the Eagles, we got to worry about those Sea Chickens. And that's the next game up here, which will be, of course, in a couple of days, kicking that one off. So, baby, as we already did all the shout-outs and all of the important introduction information here, let's do the shout-outs as we get into My Cowboys Family and all the news, info, and updates on our Dallas Cowboys.
We have James Gary, Mike Aldana, exactly. It's Sea Chickens first, right? Jason Renfro, much love with $1. Holler and a Go Cowboys. Thank you. Appreciate you. We have Hannibal King 47. Not to be that person, but yes, I do think you're one of the few people more worried about Seattle than the Eagles.
I'm worried about Seattle because that's the next game up right now. That's the way I look at it. So I kind of get that.
I agree, but if you had to compare both teams, though, or the one that worries you
the
more...
Eagles are the better team. Yeah. That's for sure.
So, let me roll back here. Of course, skeptical fan always stay skeptical. We have Dustin Roberts in the house. Double R, much love. Mike Aldana. Bootzilla. Andy Potch. Bruce got the toxic juice. Daniel Berry Sports. C. Bass representing. Little Dallas Cowboy, hello and hi. Retro Scotty in the house. Esmodius, much love from Tennessee. We have Chalk to Montana 808. And there's Jason Renfro's Dollar Hollers. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Much love, Jason. Kicking it off. He's now in the lead on the overall board. Jason Renfro with that dollar drop. And he's 9 away. He's in the membership. He's 9 away from getting that first raffle entry into this 4-prize raffle going on by Mr. The Lunatic. Much love to him.
Yeah, Fuego in the house. Prince Jackson, hello and hi. Much love to you. So I think with that, that's everybody who need to get shout-outs here as of the people here so far. So, baby, let me hand things off to you so we can jump right into the news today because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
I know you guys have a lot to say.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about. Power-packed episode. So stay tuned. We're going to go quick. We're going to try to run through this fast as possible. I don't want to be here 3 hours, but we are talking Cowboys, and it is a big game coming around the corner here in 3 days. So, first and foremost, let's start with the NFL. Today there was a game on Monday Night Football, the very boring game, the Bears at the Vikings. And Josh Dobbs threw 4 interceptions. The Vikings fell on Monday Night Football to the Bears, which actually helps the Cowboys. I'll explain that in a minute. But Cairo Santos made a 30-yard field goal with only 10 seconds, and that was his 4th field goal of the game. After he missed, actually, on the opening drive as well. The Bears, again, defense played well, 4 interceptions on Dobbs. They won. The Bears won 12-10. Justin Fields lost 2 fumbles. They had their issues, but it's incredible. This is the first win this season by a team, by the Bears, who have not scored an offensive touchdown. or any touchdown in the game. First time somebody who didn't score a touchdown this year and won the game. They won with 4 field goals. The Vikings can only muster 10 points. So anyways, the point of this, we always talk about the Monday night game real quickly. The point for the Cowboys here, and again, not the biggest of deals, but it gives the Cowboys more of a lead in the wild card race for that 5th seed, extends the lead we have over Minnesota. And, of course, now, hopefully, if we beat Seattle, it'll be over them as well. We're just pushing them out of the way. So we're basically either 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 5th seed. And the chances are really going up high right now that we end up in one of those spots because you got Skeptical Fan gifting a membership, kicking off the gifting board. We know who's in first place now on the overall board and on the gifting board, membership board. Much love to the man staying skeptical. Skeptical Fan. Who won that lucky Navy Blue crew, baby?
Dustin Roberts.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Congrats. Thank you again. Skeptical Fan showing and sharing the love here
yes.
at MCF. And by the way, halfway to being, the first one in this raffle.
Yeah, he's halfway there.
Officially.
Yeah, first one there to be in the raffle, get his raffle entry. And, of course, he's also in the membership of Skeptical. Yeah, he would actually have two raffle entries in this thing. So, again, appreciate you. Congrats to Dustin. And go Cowboys.
So, no, sorry, Mike Aldana said, any thoughts on Marcus Peters?
Well, we're going to discuss that here. Again, he's going to release as a free agent. Let me keep it moving here. The Bills yesterday, of course, lost to the Eagles. We talked about that in detail last night. The Bills are the 40th team since the 1970 merger to have 500 yards on offense, 10 third down conversions, and a positive turnover margin in a single game, right? And they are the first team to lose having that scenario. In the history of the NFL, it was 39-0, 39-0 when it comes to wins. If you have those numbers, dominating offensive numbers. And they had all those numbers. They had turnover differential, and they're the first team to lose in 40 games in the history of the NFL. The Eagles are 5-0 this year when trailing at halftime. Remember that thing when it comes to us? Like, we got to be winning at halftime. The Eagles, they're 5-0 this year when winning at halftime. The rest of the NFL, when losing at halftime, the Eagles are 5-0 when losing at halftime. The rest of the NFL, when losing at halftime, is 35 wins, 129 losses.
Ouch.
So obviously, huge advantage if you're going into the half with the lead. Look at the Eagles; they're undefeated. Now, I know a lot of people complain about the horse collar play yesterday on Josh Allen that they didn't call by the Eagles. But according to Gene Statatori, which is he runs the NFL he's one of the refs there that run the whole thing. He's kind of one of the heads there. I think he used to be at least. He said this when it comes to horse collar penalties: if the quarterback is in the pocket, there cannot be a penalty for a horse collar tackle. Keep that in mind when it comes to the quarterback. Once he leaves the pocket, then he is offered that protection. He's now a running back. He gets horse collared. That's different. If you get horse collar as a quarterback, that's not a penalty. Keep that in mind as a quarterback. Once you run the ball, then you get horse collar. It is a penalty. Josh Allen was out of the pocket on that play.
Okay.
So there should have been a foul of penalty called by the refs. That's what he is himself saying. I'm just going to say this about the Eagles. I'm not talking much about them. Fuck Philly. But Philly is going to fuck around and use up all of their luck in the regular season.
I hope they do.
And then when we get to that playoffs, that regression hits in the playoffs and the better teams come up and they start figuring them out. I know these are good teams too, but when these teams are all or nothing, it's going to be a different feeling. It won't be as many mistakes as the Buffalo Bills making against their opponent in the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Will they have luck in the playoffs? They've had luck in the regular season. They created it. Most of it. Some of it's ref help, whatever it may be. It always happens. You can't cry about it. You can't bitch about it. We got to win our games. But we'll see what happens. The Eagles using up a lot of their luck for sure. At the end of that game, towards the end of that game, there was video that appeared to show Shaq, now not Shaq Leonard, that's the guy we're looking at, but Shaq Lawson from the Bills shoving an Eagles fan during a post-game interaction. It was kind of end of the game interaction.
Not great.
Overtime interaction. The Bills defensive end, Shaq Lawson, probably going to hear from the NFL this week about a fight he had, basically, a shoving match he had with a Philly fan there in the stands, and that 37-34 loss to Philly. The video, I'll explain what happened in a minute, but Jason Renfro trying to inch away closer, right? He's 8 away from that first raffle entry.
Yes,
much love to Jason
so much,
Renfro.
Jason. You know what he said?
What did he say, baby? Tell me, loud and proud.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you.
And I'm actually updating the board here, baby, because I had to put Mr. Skeptical Fan, who's still in first place on the overall board. Hit a comment or two.
Prince Jackson, awesome. So I'm glad that you're back in the hometown, right? as Nick Aguilar first said, eventually luck always runs out for everyone.
Exactly.
And that's why
I'm not too
on
worried.
one hand, I do agree you need a little bit of luck, but I fully 100% am a believer in, like Mr. MCF and I have said here several times. Oh, what was that one? Oh, okay. Is that the other dollar hauler?
I didn't see that one. What dropped there? Was there 2 drops? I missed it, baby.
Yeah.
There were 2 $1 haulers. Okay,
Sorry,
there you
just the first one took forever to come through. That's why I was confused.
Very strange, yeah.
Come through yet?
I thought they went through, but
So
either way, there it is. Jason Renfro is, overall right now it's 5-3. Skeptical fan with that lead. Anyways, go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. You were saying a
No,
comment?
sorry. It just basically luck does run out for everyone.
Agreed.
That's it.
For sure.
But it's much easier to create your own luck, when you do the right things to build a team and build a good one.
Yeah, agree.
Specifically.
I agree, but look, you got to create your own luck. How long will that last? We'll see what happens in the playoffs. Look.
Okay, I got you, Prince. Okay.
So, anyway, a video that was shared on social media showed Shaq Lawson from the Bills shoving and defensive tackle Jordan Phillips. Both these guys arguing with a fan, and one of them shoved this Philly fan in the crowd there in the front row in the stands, and basically they engaged the fan. Phillips was engaging the fan before Lawson shoved them, and then the teammates took him away from the pile. Look, Bills defensive lineman Jordan Phillips said that the Eagles fan in that video was threatening him and threatening his family, which is why he reacted the way he did. He said, quote, "I love the crowd. I love the rowdy fans. It makes the game fun. But one thing I'm not going to tolerate is someone threatening me or my family. That is a line that shouldn't be crossed." And I agree. I agree it shouldn't be crossed. At the same time, there's only so much you can do. The answer is not to go and fight the guy in the stands. You know what I mean? So, but I will say it is fuck Philly, and it is the Eagle fans. We all know how much of an asshole, about how much of assholes they are. They're also not very good at reading. So we talked about that the other night as well. Now, other NFL news, a lot of news today in the NFL. The Panthers fired head coach Frank Reich today, moving on before his first full season was over. So special teams coordinator Chris Tabor is the interim coach now and is addressing the team as the head coach now. Jim Caldwell moves to special advisor working with the offense. Frank Reich's 11 games that he coached this year with the Panthers is the second shortest head coaching tenure in NFL history, guys. That's a quick firing. And, you look at the Panthers' track record, they have now fired head coaches during the season in back-to-back seasons. Matt Rule was fired last year in the middle of the year. Frank Reich fired this year in the middle of the season, with only one win. Now, going on to other coaches, this is interesting. A lot of people are saying that, with the Broncos right now, they're tied for the best record in the NFL since Week 7. One of the hottest teams outside of the Eagles. Denver leads the NFL also in turnover margin over that span. If the Broncos make the playoffs, I'm going to say one thing because they're getting closer. If they make the playoffs, Sean Payton might have to be the NFL Coach of the Year.
He brought back that team from nothing to something.
Only 3 teams in NFL history have made the playoffs while starting off only 1 win in 6 games. That's how they started, 1-5. So again,
1-5 or 1-6?
I'm sorry, 1 and 6. There were 6 games. Oh, and Ashley Piggott gets it.
Ooh, thank you, skeptical fan.
Oh, there it is, skeptical fan.
He's
trying to pull
that
away
gifted
there.
membership there as Mr. Jason Renfro drops his other dollar holler and another Go Cowboys. Yes,
all right, so we got a Go Cowboys from Jason
Renfro. 2 of them back to back by Jason Renfro with the dollar.
Okay, I'm trying to count them up because I'm losing track here.
Okay, sorry.
We got 4. Yeah, we got 4 total. I think from Mr. Jason Renfro.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's because of that delayed one from earlier. I was like, wait a minute.
And with those 4, he's still 6 away, Jason Renfro. But skeptical fan gifting the membership, he's got that raffle entry. Plus, he's in the membership, so he's got 2 entries already. Nobody else has anything kicking off this 2-week raffle build-up. So, congrats to skeptical fan. Congrats to Ashley.
Yeah.
Getting the membership, and much love to Mr. Skeptical Fan in first place on the overall board. 2 gifted memberships, first place on the gifting board, and Jason Renfro there in second place currently on the overall board there with Skeptical Fan leading the way. Much love. Appreciate you guys. Go Cowboys. Jason Renfro, by the way, up to 78 points on the Stream Boss. Now, only no teams have ever made a playoff starting off 1-5. So that's where you see Sean Payton. Wow, good job. Is he going to be? Coach of the year, possibly, if this continues. Now, one last thing about the Giants, which is kind of crazy. The Giants won the other game. The Giants are 2 games out of a playoff spot in the win column.
Nah.
They play the Packers, they play the Saints, they play the Rams in their final 5 games. I'm pretty sure the Eagles twice as well. But the point is, all those teams that they're playing, if they happen to win those games, right now, all those teams I mentioned, Packers, Saints, and Rams, all have just one more win than the Giants. So if the Giants go on a little streak and win these couple of games against them, maybe upset the Eagles, they could be in the playoffs as that 6th or 7th seed. Believe it or not, the Giants could be a playoff team. Just saying, they're at the cusp, they're at the rim. They're a skeptical fan. Dropping another $1-2 holler.
Definitely a very strange statement to think about. Right, skeptical fan with his $2 holler. He's giving a big old thumbs up. And a classic Go Cowboys.
Much love, skeptical, taking Jason to 76 points and also stays in first place, 8 away, if my math is right, 8 away from another raffle entry. One of those 4 prizes.
That's right. Way
Much
to
love.
go. So,
yeah, and again, if you're the winner of that, you don't have to take the jersey. You can take the hat and the shirt combo. You can take the car package. It's really first winner gets first choice. But we think here at MCF, so there's the lunatic that those jerseys are top notch, and that'd be first and second place.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, you can still choose whoever you like. Much love, skeptical fan, adding to his lead there on the overall board and with those memberships. Now, with the raffle entries. Now, really quickly, I did want to mention, shout out Derrick Henry, believe it or not. He's the 8th player in history to have gained 9,000 or more yards rushing and 80 rushing touchdowns before turning 30 years old.
Oh, wow.
He joins Jim Brown, Eric Dickerson, Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk, LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson, and the greatest, Emmitt Smith. Only guys to ever do that. That's the list right there. Derrick Henry's one of those guys. So congrats to him on that. Now, I do want to add to this that the Raiders today, and you guys made a mention of this already. This is something I'm watching. The Raiders released cornerback Marcus Peters. This guy with Baltimore Ravens and other teams, and now with the Rams, now with the Raiders. I mean, he's been a fantastic cornerback in the NFL. He had an interception return for a touchdown in Week 8, but that was the only thing he did this year, really, right now. He was benched last night in that game, and this move saves the Raiders $1.5 million in incentives that Peters was on pace to earn. So they cut him, so he would not have to pay him his incentives that he was going to hit, which kind of fucked up. But apparently from the Raiders side, Peters gave, quote, minimal effort on some plays on that field, dating back to costly plays in losses against the Bears and the Dolphins this year. So it's more about effort and his lack of it that they said, you're gone.
There's more to the story is the point. Other than, he's about to hit some incentives.
It's a combination. I think it's both those things, yeah. But they're not taking any crap after the Raider debacle they had earlier this season with McDaniels.
No, chalk to Montana to 8 throwing out there. It could have been Zeke.
Yeah, it could have been Zeke instead of old Derrick Henry.
Yeah, for a variety of reasons, it unfortunately was not.
Thanks, Joneses. Screwed him. Screwed him because of the money they paid him. They paid him the money and then screwed Zeke. It's incredible.
By the way, Jason Renfro coming through with another $1 holler. Ooh. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you. But Hannibal King followed that up with a $5 holler.
Wait, you tell me he
so
put
I have a feeling
I
knocked Jason Renfro's when it comes up in a screen here in a minute. You won't necessarily see it show up, but thank you, Hannibal King. You know what he said with his $5
holler? What did the man say? And there it is.
So we have to win out to get the first seed?
If we win out, we don't get the first seed. And if the Eagles lose only one game, we don't get the first seed. And it also matters what happens to the Niners. Those are the teams that are currently going to be in front of us. If we win out, we got tiebreaker over the Lions, but that doesn't matter if the Niners, they have to beat the Eagles, or if they lose to the Eagles, then the Eagles have to lose 3 games. So for us to catch them, it's going to be really hard. Winning out or not winning out, it all depends on the Eagles. It depends on the Eagles. We can win out. We don't control our destiny. We beat the Eagles once, and if they win the rest of their games, well, there's still a game in front of us, and if we tie them, they have tiebreaker. That's why I'm saying we're 3 back on them. So keep that in mind, guys. The Eagles could have lost against the Chiefs and the Bills, and we right there would have controlled our own destiny. But because that did not happen now we got to sit back and wait. I'm not holding my breath. I'm expecting the 5th seed for the Cowboys. I'm telling you right now. If the Eagles blow it, then that's the only chance we got. We'll cross that bridge when expected. But I think it's a 5th seed for us this year. Unfortunately.
I have to agree. Like I said, statistically speaking, it seems like the most likely thing to happen there. So, and yeah, Asmodeus, it is a little bit frustrating when it's like us, here we are on one hand fighting for this, and on the other hand, look at the Giants basically just stumbling and bumbling their way into the postseason. So
they will, if they make it, of course. They still got to win a bunch of games, and they got some easier teams. But the point is, the Giants can get in, they're going to be bounced right away. Trust me, the Lions and the Niners or the Eagles or us will destroy them if we ever meet them in the playoffs. That's a fact. But they can get in because after us, I would say the drop-off is big. After the the top 4 teams, and I'm even excluding the NFC North champion, NFC South champion, which would be the Falcons right now. That division is crap. So, we're at least the third, or I think we're the third best team, but we'll get the 5th seed right now in the NFC.
And Retro, we have more info here on Marcus Peters. Mr. MCF is gonna get
that's it. I don't have much more info. Okay. I mean, we don't do in-depth dives on other teams' players, but when it comes to Marcus Peters, I don't think the Cowboys are going to be interested in getting him. We got Mr. Prince Jackson dropping that $2 holler.
Ooh, thank you, Prince.
Yes, dropping that J-Lou 2. What did the man say?
He said, "Get Leonard and Peters." Now you're asking for a little more than what the Cowboys can probably handle.
That's a lot from the Joneses, and they're kind of they don't really get into doing that too much and getting a lot of players brought in here. You know how they do. So much love, Prince Jackson, taking Jason to 75 points. We'll see what happens when it comes. Who do they bring in? We got an update on Leonard here in a minute. Don't hold your breath on Marcus Peters, because Marcus Peters, guys, he's a guy that, to me, he is, fantastic cornerback, but we have a bunch of guys already on this team that are fantastic at cornerback, and I know that means Jerry Jones is not going to dip into the free agent market for a cornerback. Linebacker, we're a little soft there, a little bit not too deep there, so I can understand that the Joneses, even they would look into the Darius Leonard, but not Marcus Peters, and I don't expect it to happen, but if anything does, then I'll definitely update you guys on that. I haven't heard anything about the Cowboys being interested in this. His minimal effort stuff is kind of reminds me of, I don't want to say Xavier Woods, but I know the fans didn't like it when he didn't give it 100% on every play. So,
right.
I don't know how much the Cowboy fans are going to like Marcus Peters showing that same attitude. Now, again, it could have been a bad situation for him.
I was just about to say, we don't know what maybe caused the lack of desire, right?
Still red flags.
I do not disagree. Just throwing that out there. So, by the way, following that up with a $5 holler from Calvin Richard. Shout out to you, saying, if the Cowboys get the run game going, playing on the road will not matter. That's
the key. I was saying this last night. When we go into the playoffs, we got to play at Philadelphia. It's going to be snowing or windy. How's that pass game going to go for us? You see, that becomes a problem. So we have to make sure we get the run game flowing. You can't always set it up with the passing game. I do love the pass game as number one to me. I like throwing on first down, but when it's windy or snowy or rainy, in the playoffs, you're not at home. What are you going to do?
I know. We technically had a game very similar to that. If you roll back to week 1, only difference is obviously the Giants and the Eagles are two very different teams. But, we have shown that we can effectively maneuver in that type of situation. So, not saying that that's going to exactly translate to future success, just saying that we do have a blueprint for it. If that situation arises.
I hope so.
And we've seen our team only continue to look better here. There you go. Calvin Richards' drop just went through.
Much love, Calvin Richard, with the 5 on it. And again, he's halfway there to a raffle entry in this fantastic 4-prize raffle.
Yeah, and Retro, we had joked, I think it was yesterday, that the Seahawks only got Kelvin Joseph to be able to scout us out from the inside.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. So when you look at, and by the way, much love to everybody in the house. Jason to 70 points. Everybody here, hitting that like, subscribe, notification bell. You got that raffle going down by the Lunatic. Every 10, you get a raffle entry. So good luck to all that's in that right now. We're starting to build up some people in it. So looking at the rest of the NFL, quick news here. There are a couple other things still. Pro Bowl defensive edge rusher. And right now, the leader of Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, leading in sacks and everything. He had 0 sacks last game, by the way. He left Sunday's game with his shoulder in a sling. He was checked out today. They say he's okay. He's basically described as day-to-day. So if you're watching that battle between Micah and Myles Garrett for the sack lead, Micah's right there now. He's crawling closer as Myles Garrett got a little banged up. Everyone gets banged up. Micah got banged up last year. So it happens. Now, the Eagles, they have a guy named Derek Barnett. They kind of kept them as an elevated player on the practice squad. The Eagles, I'm pretty sure they had to let him go and they were going to bring him back to the practice squad. Well, when they cut him, guess what happened? We tried to do that with John Ridgway and he got picked up. The Eagles tried to do that with a veteran edge defensive player like Derek Barnett, who's kind of on the outs a little bit with the Eagles, was waived. 2 teams made a waiver claim for him. Miami Dolphins, who lost Jalen Phillips, their big pass rusher there, and the Houston Texans, who had a higher waiver priority. And so they got him, guys. Yeah. Derek Barnett's been picked up by the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans were going to trade for him with the Eagles earlier in the year. And now they get him.
This ended up being quite the steal for
Houston.
Houston.
The Eagles thought they were going to slide him through. Not so fast. He signed. He went and said, I'm leaving the Eagles at this shit over here.
He said Harold's jumping on his couch right now.
I mean, Derek Barnett's old. He's still got a little juice in him. But, yeah, I mean, it's more. I think it was what the Houston Texans wanted to make a point. Say, listen, you're not going to trade him? We'll just swipe him from your practice squad. So, anyways, that's the done deal there. Then the Dolphins, who couldn't get Derek Barnett on the waiver wire, the Dolphins signed Jason Pierre-Paul. He was at the Saints. He went to the Saints, if you recall, guys. He was signed by the Saints last week. And the Dolphins picked him off of their practice squad, made a claim for him, got him. Jason Pierre-Paul now went from the Saints practice squad, now is on the Dolphins 53-man roster. So a big name addition, at least a big name guy, older guy, big name guy there for the Dolphins to help their passers. We'll see him in about 3.5 weeks, Jason Pierre-Paul, against our Cowboys as their replacement pass rusher for Jalen Phillips. So that's kind of the NFL news, free agent news, except for our own guy, who we got to talk about here, who we're pursuing. And again, not a Cowboy yet, but we talk about Darius Shaq Leonard. 3-time All-Pro linebacker Shaquille Leonard. Announced late last night while we were on stream. It was going to be before Wednesday. We know the day now. It's Tuesday, guys. Tomorrow, Darius Leonard will be at the Cowboys facility doing a workout, meeting with the Cowboys staff and coaches, and we'll see what happens. So that's the update on Darius Leonard. The Cowboys, of course, like I said earlier, thin at linebacker depth. Will not cost the Cowboys really at all that much. You know why? Because the Colts are on the hook for that $6.11 million of the salary. Colts are paying that, which is whatever we're paying him here. It's a bonus to him. He's getting that money from them. But we would have to pay him like $1 million maybe, or $2 million with incentives or something total. And he's still happy with the 6.1 he's still getting from the Colts. So either way, guys, let me just quickly say something about Darius Leonard, because it sounds like it's getting closer and closer that we may be, have to zero in on this guy. Tomorrow, there very well may be an announcement that we signed Darius Leonard by like 4 p.m. Eastern or something like this, 3 p.m. Eastern. So here's the deal, guys. What's the good and bad with him? Darius Leonard showed his worth as a rookie in the NFL. 163 tackles in his rookie year. Won Defensive Rookie of the Year. And was named a first-team All-Pro in his rookie year. So he has obviously great potential. He had great potential, right, hitting the ground running in the NFL.
Yeah, the baseline is high.
Yeah, I mean, that's where he started at, right? He'd make 3 more consecutive All-Pro teams, 2 on the first team and 1 on the second team. He racked up at least 120 tackles each season. But then last year in 2022, he missed the first 4 games after off-season back surgery.
Oof.
That's something you got to keep an eye on here in this situation. They're going to check him out for health reasons. Leonard returned in Week 4 last year with the Colts, but then suffered a concussion and a broken nose.
Oof.
So concussion, broken nose,
Double
back
whammy.
injury, all in 4 weeks, which caused him to miss the next 3 games. So he missed 7 games, basically, almost a total 7 games. And then he suffered another setback with his back later on in the season. Missed the rest of the season.
All right,
so
Jerry's
really bad last year.
Jerry's comments from earlier, the post-game
Yesterday,
comments
yeah.
by him, where he basically... No, it was actually post-game
after
when
the
he was
game.
asked
Well, we
about
said it yesterday, yeah.
Shaq Leonard, and he was basically just kind of like, we're doing our due diligence, doing our homework, checking out the health situation.
Now we know why.
Off the top of my head, I knew he had an injury or 2, but I didn't realize it was unfortunately for him, so consecutively.
The thing is that's crazy about this, and I don't mind rolling the dice on him because, listen, he was great up until 2022 where he then got injured with the back, got surgery, then he broken nose and concussion, then the back injury setback. I hope it doesn't continue with the back.
Already, as long as we can keep him semi-healthy, he'll probably look good.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's only played, again, that was last year, missed the rest of the season. Last year he only played 3 games. Former second-round pick, remember that, guys, did not like his snap count. And it had been reduced. And he talked about the fact that he wasn't happy with, the lessening of his snap count this season. And with the complaining back and forth, the Colts said, fuck it, we're going to release him. So in the 9 games he's played during this 2023 season, he has only 65 tackles. He's not quite, again, on that all-pro level anymore, but he's still, trust me on this, a very capable linebacker who can play at a high level. And he does a great job at shooting gaps very quickly, and he's very good at pursuing plays sideline to sideline. You're looking at maybe a better LVE? Don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, right now, remember, we got LVE that season, I think. So, you know, Darius Leonard was one of my favorite guys that year to draft. He got drafted in the second round. But to me, we'll have to wait and see what happens, guys. I think that he will be a great person to use as an inside linebacker here for our Cowboys, whether it's starter, probably not, but depth, definitely. And this will be a smart veteran addition for the Cowboys at linebacker to help the young guys we got out there, right? I mean, Rashaan Evans is on the team. He's a veteran too, but he's practice squad. He got moved up from the practice squad just last week. And I think it'd be a great mentor, right? With Rashaan Evans, two guys like Damone Clark, two guys like Marquise Bell. These are the real first full seasons of starting at that position for the whole season. So both these guys having a great year, and you have Rashaan Evans to help guide. Now you add someone like Darius Leonard. That would be, I think, another plus for not just now, but for the future. He's gone, Darius Leonard, but he bestowed some knowledge onto these young guys.
Outside of just like the play on the field, consider the type of knowledge that experience that Brandon Cooks brought to the and the reason
and
I say
Gilmore
Brandon Cook,
on defense,
and Gilmore, like, again, this is another example. Obviously,
Peters
the
last
talent
year
level is a little bit different, right? Like, he's not going to go out there and start playing like Brandon Cooks one day, but he can still have a very similar type of impact defensively within his position, just like, you know, like just on the defense, you know, and even beyond that, obviously, if he actually plays and then plays well for us when he's out there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. This will be a great place for him. All eyes on him. If he's gone next year,
Jeff
he can bounce
Coughlin
up on
reminding us all, you know, no one gets rid of a great player. Again, we kind of touched on a few of the little nuances.
Right, and we know why.
So, like you said, you know, the possibility of him not giving full effort is definitely there.
Wrong guy.
Oh, wrong
That's
guy?
Marcus Peters.
Oh, sorry, Marcus Peters.
Yeah. So, yeah, when it comes to Darius Leonard, it's not about effort with him. He gives you effort. The problem with him is that the back injury, he had the concussion, lost a year last year, low snap counts this year. And I think it's about the dollar signs. You got to remember, this guy's contract was $6 million left. It was $12 million overall. It was like $10, $11 million. So it was about money, too. It was about money. They didn't want to have to guarantee his money. It was a lot of money still left on his contract. It's not guaranteed. But if he stays on the roster, or he gets hurt, like Jalen Smith when he got it. Remember, we cut him because we didn't want him to hit us on some more money in the future he's going to take from us. So they said, let's let Darius Leonard go and restart him somewhere else. He's not going to fit in our plans anymore, and somebody else is going to get a good player. I don't know why they couldn't trade him. There was no trade, wants for him with his money tag to that. And now as a release that went through waivers, nobody wanted him then. But once he got through waivers, a couple teams looked at him like our Cowboys and like the Eagles. You know what happened? The Eagles, even though they were not that interested as they first said, are now gaining interest in Shaquille Leonard. You know why? Not just because he's coming to Dallas. We know they copy us. But because of the reported hamstring injury to linebacker Zach Cunningham, their starter.
Oof.
So they lost their linebacker for at least a little bit of time there. They're looking for a little depth.
Hamstring injuries are always something.
And, he's gone, right? Zach Cunningham, they also got, Kobe Dean is out for the year. So they're missing a lot of linebackers. So they're also looking for a place for Shaq Leonard to get some snaps. But he has to decide, well, will Philly give me better opportunities and everybody watching them, or will be in Dallas, where I'll be the third guy there possibly, right? So at linebacker. So, again, going to be a big decision for him. I would prefer the Cowboys give him a good deal, get him locked up, and don't let him leave. But if he's asking for $5-6 million, he ain't going to get it in Dallas. Now, I'll end this with a couple little side notes here. We're going to talk about Mike McCarthy here in a minute. But Mike McCarthy, who was asked today at his press conference about Darius Leonard again, what's the update? And yesterday he said he was interested in him. There was definitely interest, which was surprising to hear. McCarthy twice declined to be specific about his role in recruiting this free agent linebacker, Shaq Leonard.
So
yeah,
it sounds like just by his silence that it's almost like he was maybe more involved.
Yeah, I
mean, especially after his comment the other day where he basically was like, "Oh yeah, we want to see him, we like him, whatever." Like, he was much more forward than even Jerry was.
Yeah, I mean, surprising, right? And McCarthy today was a lot more quiet about the situation. So look, him specifically about his role in recruiting Darius Leonard, Mike McCarthy did not say much about that. Again, tomorrow, we all know, Mike knows it too. Darius Leonard will be at the Star, meeting with the Cowboy coaches, scouts, front office, Jerry Jones, doing probably a workout, checking his physical, and we'll see if he gets signed. We'll see if a deal is done. If he leaves Dallas, well, he might be going to Philly next. We'll have to wait and see on that. I wouldn't sign him because he's going to Philly. I'd sign him if it's a good mutual deal for both sides of things. By the way, one little last comment about Shaq Leonard here. Micah always on Monday has his podcast stuff, right? Today's podcast, he had behind him like DK Metcalf's jersey from college, I think, which is, of course, the opponent we play this week. I forgot the other jersey. But the third jersey he had hanging up was Darius Leonard's jersey from his college days. I think LSU, right? So Darius Leonard, obviously the Cowboys are pushing for him, including Micah Parsons. Mike McCarthy sounds like he really wants to bring him on here. We're assuming if the defensive guys want him and the head coach wants him, then Dan Quinn has no problem taking him on this team. So, just something to keep an eye on. But it looks like, when McCarthy and everybody's all in on bringing in Darius Shaq Leonard. And tomorrow we'll know more after he comes to Dallas and does his physical workout and talks with the Cowboys front office about, coming to Dallas and being a viable piece to add to our defense. Any quick comments on this in the chat, maybe?
Jason Renfro saying DQ wants him in Dallas.
That's what I believe.
So that's, of course, part of it, too. Although we haven't heard him, straight up say, I want him in Dallas. Right? Jeff Coughlin saying the Philly defense needs a lot of help. So, again,
they might try to go after him.
For the same reason that we're interested in him, they are also interested in him. So, pointed out, it's kind of a similar problem we're sharing right now with the linebacker deficiencies. So, Chalk to Montana to Wade throwing out there, they're close in talks. Prince Jackson also saying, no way we let that guy leave the building. That guy isn't Leonard. So, basically,
we've done it. We've let him go before. We let him go before these guys. I would not be surprised if they let another guy go and leave Dallas without a contract.
But Jason Renfro also said, as the words of Scarface, Clown Show will give him an offer he can't refuse.
Or maybe an offer that he definitely will refuse. I don't know. So, anyways, that's the Darius Leonard thing. By the way, you can all vote now officially for Pro Bowlers. Not that I give a shit too much about that, because I'd rather see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. But if you want to give them the recognition, you want to go vote. I would only vote Cowboys. Don't vote for your other players that are doing good this year, because you'll vote out the Cowboys that way. Just only put all your votes to every single Cowboy at every single position. So again, guys, send your votes in if you'd like, and help our Cowboys shine at the Pro Bowl by just our Cowboy names being announced, because hopefully they'll be playing in the Super Bowl, not the Pro Bowl. Now, McCarthy said a quick press conference from McCarthy today. He said gave an update on the injury side of things when it comes to Daron Kearse. According to Mike McCarthy today, Daron Kearse will be taking, quote, the majority of practice reps. So that's great news there. Yesterday, through the Sunday jog through, he took about half of those reps in that Sunday jog through there. But today, it's the majority of snaps in practice. So this is really good news for Daron Kearse. Going to be good to go on Thursday, it sounds like. And that's the update from Mike McCarthy. He said they're still he believes that Daron Kearse is still, quote, tracking towards a Thursday return against the Seattle Seahawks. So sounds like it's good. No setbacks. It sounds like Daron Kearse will play on Sunday. Now, the injury report came out, but before the injury report, of course, the practice went down. No Tyron Smith on the practice field, and no Zach Martin on the practice field. So, again, no Dante Fowler and Tyrus Sweet on the defensive side of the ball.
Are these guys all getting, veteran days, or?
Four guys out of practice today. Not really sure why. We see the actual official injury practice report come out, and the way this went is this. You had rest days for Tyron Smith and Zach Martin. As we know, no practice for Tyron Smith anymore. And Zach Martin getting a little bit of a veteran day too. Maybe he's doing a lot on that GPS tracker. So either way, they did not practice. It's listed as rest days. Good news for Zach Martin and Tyron Smith. Mozzie Smith had a shoulder injury coming out of this game, but full practice for him today. Great news for him. Peyton Hendershot also still not officially on the roster at tight end with that ankle injury he had 4 weeks ago. He's a full practice guy again. He's full practice for Peyton. That's about over 2 weeks Hendershot has had full practices. So good to see him there and going all out on that side of things. Then we had some limited players. All right. Rico Dowdle had the ankle tweak They're still kind of managing that. So he was kind of in limited participation in practice today. And then Daron Kearse, great news, did not practice anymore. Now he was limited, Daron Kearse, in practice, taking the majority of the reps, according to McCarthy. That's great news there for Daron Kearse.
So glad to see him trending in a positive upward direction.
Yeah, and again, listed with that back injury. Now, those are the two limited guys. There were a bunch of guys that did not practice. Two of them was, of course, Tyron Smith and Zach Martin with rest days. But then you also had Dante Fowler had an illness. So not an injury, should be okay for the game, but he was sick. He did not practice today. Dante Fowler, number 56. And as we know, Tyrus Sweet, who was not in the field as well as Fowler, still in the concussion protocol. Remember, he left the game at the end of the game. Tyrus Sweet, we didn't know what the injury was. He just kind of left and on his own power. Obviously, it was a concussion. He is obviously in the concussion protocol and not allowed to practice today. So we might not get that little bit of help from Tyrus Sweet this week. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Again, I always think about the Cowboys. What do they try to do with some of their players? So a guy like Tyrus Sweet, who has a concussion, I don't know if they can put him on the injured reserve. But they would love nothing more than taking a guy like him and getting Peyton Hendershot back in the mix to replace him. So that would be like the optimal usage of your roster. But I don't think you can put Tyrus Sweet with a concussion out for 4 weeks because of that. I don't think you can do that yet. So we'll have to wait and see what the Cowboys do in trying to get Hendershot onto the team. It just really looks like everybody else on this team is good to go. You know, after the practice, there was some interviews going down, and Daron Kearse was asked, what are the odds of him playing Thursday night against the Seattle Seahawks, having missed his Thanksgiving game with that back tightness and limited in practice today? His reply, what's the chances? Quote, 200%. So it sounds like Daron Kearse, he's good to go, no setbacks, good to go for this game against Seattle. Great to have him back. And after skipping out on the Thanksgiving game there, Daron Kearse will be back. 200%, he said, is how he feels he's going to be back in this game, ready to go. Now, before we get to the Seattle breakdown, which is coming right now, it's a real deep breakdown, guys, on this offense of the Seahawks compared to our defense, what we need to do. Tomorrow we'll dig deeper into our offense versus their defense. So today's going to be more, our defensive-minded kind of stream with, a trickle here of a little bit of offensive flavor, which I'm going to give you right now from our Cowboys. So overall as a team, when you look at the team tiers after Week 12, the Niners are currently the overall best team, but the Cowboys are right next to them. Literally percentage points behind the Niners when it comes to the analytical tiering of these teams. When you look at the fact that the Niners are first and the Cowboys are second in these analytical tiers, and there's a big drop-off to the next teams, which are the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Bills. And the Cowboys right now, outside of the Cleveland Browns, Cowboys have the best defensive EPA per play. And if you look at the offense, we have the second best offense in the NFL behind the Niners when it comes to the efficiency and the analytics when it comes to offensive EPA per play. So we're second best defense analytically, second best offense analytically. That's why we're the second best team right now analytically. The only team in front of us, like I said, was the Niners. Now, just want to make sure we understand some things here, guys. The Cowboys right now are the top scoring team in the NFL. Cowboys, I can't believe I'm saying this because the Cowboys have, they're so struggling on offense at the beginning half of the year. But the Cowboys have scored 347 points. That is, again, number one in the NFL, offensive points. When you look at the defense, we're the second best at keeping opponents from scoring points on us. We're the second best scoring defense. We only allowed 185 points against our defense. So again, number one in the NFL in scoring points, number two in allowing points. The Cowboys are rocking it right now and finding their rhythm. Again, after 3 games that we had to win in dominating fashion, and it does bump these stats up a little bit when you get those wins. So again, the largest point differential in the NFL is the Dallas Cowboys at plus 162. Now, when it comes to our guy here, our quarterback, all right, we're talking about the overall team. What about the offense real quick? You got Dak Prescott in the house. And Dak Prescott, listen to this, baby. On 10-plus yard throws, air yards, all right, since the bye week, since the restructuring of this offense, we needed to see it after the bye week. When it comes to Dak and throwing 10-yard passes or farther down the field, he has 50 completions. That is number one. in the NFL. He has 1,076 yards. That's also number one. He has 13 touchdowns. That is first in the league since the bye week. 0 interceptions, by the way, when it comes to 10-yard throws or longer. So he's attacking with 10-yard throws and is not getting picked. In this, again, since week 6. And then also, when it comes to 10-yard throws only, 148.6 passer rating. That is number one in the NFL right now since the bye week. And I said this, you go back and check it. I'm like, in that bye week, I'm like, we got to see these things fixed from the offense. Now, we weren't talking about Brandon Cooks and seeing him more. We just wanted to get the offensive flow better, and it did happen. And those 2 weeks was the key. And I said it. The whole 2 weeks, I said, we got to fix it. We got to see it. We went to the Rams game. We saw it. And it continued every game getting even more efficient, better and better every week. Against the Eagles or against the Panthers, a good team or good defense. When it comes to pass defense, the Cowboys still did a damn good job, very efficient, and showing out through Dak Prescott. Now, I know that Dak Prescott had some words to say today, guys. And again, that, we got a little baby fever going on here for old Dak Prescott. So what did he say today, baby? I don't know where you're going to start with, but what did Dak have to say today after practice?
Well, we're going to start right there on his impending fatherhood. Dak did mention that his daughter is going to be due in March. So remember how yesterday we had that whole talk about, oh man, the baby looks like it might be born during the Super Bowl or something? Well, we weren't too far off, guys. He added in there, quote, super, super blessed to have that opportunity, but at the same time, have that opportunity to start a family, bring a child into this world. I know what my mom means to me, and in a sense, have that feeling in a different role is something I'm looking forward to.
Again, I wish we know if he's gonna name the child after his mother, the daughter.
Well, he did say that him and
his girl Sarah.
Yeah, they do have a name, but they're not going to reveal it. But he did, kind of make a little joke, right, saying, "Oh, it's the dad's strength on why he's been playing so good recently." So.
He hasn't experienced it yet. He didn't know what he's talking about.
I know. He's been.
Oh, just wait, Dak. Just wait.
But as far as how his life is going to change, he said, it's super exciting. I wanted a little girl. Everyone knows what my mom means to me. So to be able to raise a little girl, I'm thankful. So, and outside of, those very heartwarming moments, right? Let's talk about something else that warms the heart, right? Dak's hot streak. What?
No, I'm listening. No, I'm waiting. I know that Micah said something about his fatherhood there later on in the day.
Yeah, that's
with the
Micah
yeah,
stuff.
of course. No, I know that. No, I just wanted to take off the since when I was talking on his football side, I want to make sure we get away from the baby bump and get to the Dak bump.
So, sorry, I don't really know where I left off, so I'll just start over. He said, so remember the whole little dad strength joke? He said, sure, it gives credit to everything around this team, the organization, the coaches, people just handling their business and being prepared. Our process has been amazing throughout this season. The challenge is just staying true to that process, not getting ahead, not getting overwhelmed, understanding that what I say to myself is, I haven't done shit. You know what I mean. Regular season, numbers are great, getting wins, that's what's most important. But at the end of the day, we're trying to stack and keep growing this team to get better each and every week.
Yeah, that's what we need to see, not just hear, right? And I know he's been saying it, and we've been doing it. So now it comes against the better teams. We're starting up with the Seahawks, and we're going to get some tougher teams in the next 5 weeks. Now he's going to show it. And he understands it's not just about wins or the number. It's not about just regular season big numbers and stats. It's about getting these wins and then going from there and making something happen in the playoffs. By the way, Brandon James with the Go Cowboys and a $2 J. Lou holler drop. They're taking Jason Redfield with 68 points in the Stream Boss. What did Brandon have to say? Because now he is $8 away from being in the 4 prize raffle.
He said, I'm guessing this is what you mean, with the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Cho Robinson, edge from Penn State.
Another Penn State edge. They're teaming up with Micah. We'll see, Brandon.
Yeah, maybe we go from a Boise State Revolution to
to Penn State Revolution.
Yeah.
It's got to be better. So, a bunch of love, Brandon. And we will talk about the draft stuff way later. Way later into 2024. Go ahead, baby. Let's I know you were still talking about the man, Dak Prescott, speaking on the dad situation, speaking about the team preparation and what we have to see from this team on the field, not just speak on it, not just see the records and the stats. So what else?
So,
No, it's still on Dak, right?
I mean,
All
yeah,
right, go ahead. We'll hit it up.
So, Dak also throwing out there, I can definitely say it would have been harder early in my career, but this comes with growth and growing up. It comes with life.
He's talking about the baby,
I'm
right?
super excited about, yes. But that basically, he's comparing his personal growth to, like, his football growth. Basically, like, he doesn't feel as ready, or he wouldn't have felt as ready for his child, because now he feels more ready, like, in a life and football sense. So, like, basically just everything in its God's timing is everything, he said. He also said, I credit Sarah Jane in allowing me to focus on what I want to, especially knowing what this means to me. That's who deserves a lot of credit for me being able to balance this. So, again, crediting his girl for the support and basically allowing him to, still be able to do what he needs to do in a football sense. Dak's, even before we heard about this, we have not once heard about this season, Dak somehow taking a step back from the team or being any less dedicated than he usually is, Mm-hmm. So, he also threw out there that, they had actually known for a while, not just that what they were having, but the fact that they obviously were having a baby. He said, quote, to be candid, I wasn't waiting any particular length of time. I think people that know me have known. I would say it hasn't been a secret. If anything, for me, it's about protecting her. Understanding fans can be fans, but there's no reason to bother her. The nasty messages people want to send me that I deserve and no one else does is part of it. The main reason is she was tired of hiding her belly, and the bump is a little too big to hide. And, of course, he's saying that with, like, a big-ass Dak Prescott smile on his face. But, then he got a little serious, started talking back to the football, and he said, regular season numbers are great. Wins are most important, but we're trying to stack and keep growing this team. So, the NFL is tough in general. I've said it over and over again. Don't get obsessed with records. Injuries, a lot of things play into records at times. The teams that we've played have records that haven't been great, but I can promise you that everyone who comes in, we get their best shot. When you play the Dallas Cowboys for the other teams, it's a bit bigger than some of the other games we've played.
It's their Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're getting people's best shots, and we're not taking anybody lightly. This is about us and our growth. That's
important. Again, back home against Washington at home. Now it's Seattle, got to beat them, got Philly after that. I'm just saying, keep the home streak going, keep the winning going, do not overlook any team. And the Cowboys pretty much have stayed true to that in these last 3 games against the stinking Giants, Panthers, and Commanders.
The last thing that Dak Prescott threw in here was everything that we want is still in front of us. As long as we control what's on our hands and on our plates, that's our focus and our goal, and that's what we're going to do.
And those are facts. You see our schedule? That's what's in front of us. That's what's on our plate. We win most of these games, if not all these games. Best chance to get that home field advantage. If not, we still get the 5th seed. And I guess if the Eagles trip up and the Niners don't lose, we get the 2nd seed. But all that doesn't matter. All we got to do is worry about the Cowboys, our Cowboys. Don't look at the Eagles. Don't look at the Niners. They play next week. We'll watch that game. But whoever wins, wins. We got to win, or else it doesn't matter.
So, like I said, that was it from our man Dak Prescott.
I think Micah spoke too, right? About old Dak Prescott.
He did, and of course I'm going to start it off with his fatherly advice from for Dak, saying, "Have that guest room ready. Have that guest room ready because I love my daughter to death, but when she sleeps with me and she's waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning wanting that bottle, just have that guest room ready. Set everything up in the guest room. There's going to be a lot of sleepless nights." And your days off aren't really days off anymore, so be very, very prepared.
Micah bringing some wisdom to Dak Prescott there on the life side of things.
The baby's going to be born, like I said, during the off season.
Yes, that's a very good thing. Now, I do want to say, I know Micah spoke some more.
He did.
I know there was something that's going around. We talked about the unfortunate missed calls in this game. You see Micah there against Washington, the Commanders there. And again, it's not just the Commanders. Listen to this, guys. The media, the media outlet, Dallas Morning News, they rewatched and they charted every holding penalty that Cowboy defensive players have drawn this year against offenses. Micah Parsons has gotten just 2 motherfucking calls in 11 games. In 11 games, he's got 2. How could Micah only have been held or a penalty against him only twice in the entire season? There's 5 that they missed right here. You see on your screens. So how is that even fucking possible? And not only, baby, it gets worse. When you look at the last 5 games, Micah has not drawn one penalty in the last 5 games, 2 in the whole season. This is incredibly despicable. It's a farce. The referees got to get better at whatever the fuck they're doing because it's not working. And I'm glad that the media is now getting involved. You know, Micah's been talking about it a couple weeks. People have been showing these clips. I'm showing these clips. Just getting the word out. Just look, this is just, we're not whining. We just want it to be fair. Just be fair about it because these are misses. And yes, maybe they could have called 3 of these. Still, call 3 then. Because Micah's drawing more than just 0 flags a game. He's drawing more than 2 flags in 11 games. That's not happening. He's drawing some kind of flags in the last 5 games, but he has none called to help his case out. None. And you're seeing them just in 1 game. Just this last game, you're seeing 5 obvious missed penalties. Their hands to the face or holding. It's insane. So to me, what I'm saying, all 6 years of being on My Cowboys Family, you gotta overcome the referees. You can't bitch about it. You got to overcome it. I've been saying that for years. Yes, you can bitch about it like this and say, hey, call the flags, show it to them, whatever you got to do. But when it comes to the game, you can't sit there and worry about, oh, I need to get a flag now. He needs to just dominate, in my opinion. And that's what he said he's going to do, baby. I don't know what you have for me ready here about Micah Parsons, but because of these missed calls, he said today, quote, I'm just going to keep hunting. He's the hunter out there. So what did Micah say about hunting? I hope that's what's next on the list here. But
well, yeah, he is talking about, you know, not getting some of those calls, right? He's saying it's frustrating. I kind of wish people saw it the way that I do. I kind of tell the ref, if you just look at me the whole time, you don't even have to look anywhere else. It's right there in front of you.
That's true. We're watching it right now. You guys are watching it as it happens.
He even had to throw out there and say that, you know, adding dirty. Saying, you know, brings me to the line, and he says, oh, you got to remember, you're Micah fucking Parsons. This shit is going to happen. You just got to keep going. Fuck all the other stuff. And I agree. So basically, that's Micah saying that Dirty had to basically tell him that in order to calm him down a bit.
And listen, Dirty is right, but at the same time, I agree he's right. Yes, it's going to happen. This is Micah Parsons. He's going to get a lot of things going to be missed on him because he's so fast. He's almost beyond human. But my point is that you know, Micah has to just put his head down and keep working and hope that it comes one day. Now, he's bitched already at the refs. You know, everybody knows in the league. By this point, everybody knows what's going on. So hopefully these calls will start coming a little bit more. I think it's going to come at the most important time. End of the season, playoffs. This is going to change. It's going to change in time. Micah, just put your head down and keep working, and you will get these calls eventually. You will get them. Trust me on this. It's just going to take a little longer when you're a Cowboy. Much love, by the way, by Jason Renfro dropping that 5 on it. He's back up to Tyler Smith points, 73 points on that stream, boss. What did the man say?
He's bringing the hype with the Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. You know it. Appreciate you, Jason Renfro, who is now by himself in second place on the board here. 2 behind Skeptical. But right now, because he's in the membership, guess what? He's got 2 raffle entries for our 4 prize raffle. Brought to you by The Lunatic. And after you see this clips of plays, baby, why don't we tell them, everybody in the house right now, what's going on from The Lunatic this week? Or I say this week, into this week and next week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, The Lunatic's 4 prize raffle.
4 prize raffle, guys. Again, in order to enter, all you have to do is, bam, drop $10 or more. It is cumulative, right? So if you drop a dollar holler 10 times, bam,
yeah, you
that's
get
your
in.
entry. And, of course, the entries stack on top of themselves. Yeah. So every additional $10 is an additional bonus entry.
Unlimited entries across the board here. And you get bonus entry if you're in the membership, any level. You get a bonus membership right there once you hit the $10 mark. Keep that in mind. Now, what do they win, baby?
Of course, we have 4 awesome prizes thanks to the Lunatic. 4th place is this Cowboy Car Care Package.
Yeah.
So love it. Deck out your car and all that cowboy gear.
Yeah, you got license plate cover, flags, window sticker, lanyards.
All sorts of stuff
more.
there.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's 4th place. 3rd place
is your own customizable cowboy shirt. So any name, any number, and extra awesome, right? That Dallas Cowboy hat with Micah Parsons' signature embroidered on the side.
That's a one of a kind right there, brought to you by the Lunatic. But what is 1st and 2nd place? They're the same prize. So if you're a 1st or 2nd, you get the same prize. Oh, you know it. Sewn and stitched, authentic jerseys, Mike Mosh, Cowboy Mosh style.
We have it. Bam.
Sizes, different sizes, colors, styles. women, children, men, all over, guys. Top-notch stuff. Much love to Cowboys Mosh, and much love to the winners for this big raffle coming around the corner here, right? So, again, first and second place, a jersey, for first place, a jersey for second place. Third place gets a double package here. And if you win I guess you get first or second, you could request this if you want. And then the jerseys will drop to, to third or whatever, one of the jerseys. But then you got this in third, and then you got this in fourth here for your car. You got yourself cowboyed up. That's all you need here. That's the fourth place prize. Extra special love and shout out to the man, the Godfather, the Lunatic, for this 4 prize raffle coming. You see it in 2 weeks. You guys can still build towards that. It's just starting now. Now it's eligible. If you do it, you're in it. We keep tallies, and you're good. So we'll see what happens as we get ready to pluck the fuck out of the Seahawks, and then hopefully cook up some eagle meat after that. Appreciate you, the Lunatic, making this happen. Can't wait to see what the 4 lucky winners are going to be. Now, we're back to the Micah Parsons talk here. I figured that was a good time there as Jason gets into the raffle now officially. He also has a membership, so guess what? He's got 2 entries right now and can still stack it. I know Skeptical has 2 entries, and he's 8 away from another entry, so we'll see what happens. It's just night 1. So anyways, who else spoke? Or as Micah Parsons spoke some more as you see more of the missed calls by the refs?
Yeah, so he added in there to quote, "It kind of gets me on the emotion side because I'm competing and I'm daring to be great and I'm challenging these guys and I know I'm getting the best of them and it may not show up the way that I want it to show up." He said, "That definitely bothers me and I'm working on it, playing it cool, not letting it get to the best of me. I think that's been the difference between this year and last year."
And again, remember, guys, Micah Parsons, I understand. Look at him. He's competing. He said yesterday it goes from 1.5 sacks to 3 sacks. That's the difference if they don't hold them. If they call one of these plays, these guys won't hold next time as much. You guys feel me? And if they don't hold him, now he's getting that sack. You see, this is like a sack and a half difference. I agree 1,000% with Micah. It's very frustrating to be a competitor and to be stuck in this rut you cannot kind of break out of because the refs are not calling it fairly right now.
Exactly. Like, he's doing everything he's supposed to, and he did that in their quote. I kind of had to talk to, Dirty and Quinn, and I was like, I see what's going on. They're making sure that I don't get started, or they're trying to eliminate me from these games. I think that they spent a lot of time trying to focalize me and make sure that I get one-on-ones in these game plans. But teams are just like, nah, we don't care what you do. What you do, we're going to eliminate 100.
So, what he's trying to say is that, what teams are trying to literally take him out of the game. They rather instead of him being on one-on-ones, they rather see,
basically the entire defensive scheme for teams is basically stop Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
That's it.
Hold them, do whatever you got to do.
We'll figure it out. Just stop Micah. And yeah, as you can see from the holds, by any means necessary, is clearly a statement that's been going around the league, at least in his regard. Because holy shit. Listen,
when you see our defense and that pass rush we bring, not just Micah, but Micah's the ringleader there. Listen to this pass rush this year, baby. Pressure percentage. This is through next-gen stats. The amount of pressure quarterbacks feel, 38% of the time, they're getting pressured by our defensive line. That's number 1 in the NFL. Also, when it comes to pass rush win rate, you're seeing Micah win these pass rushes. He's winning that, but he's not winning it enough in the sense of like getting to the quarterback because he's being held. These numbers would be higher, not just for him, but for the entire team. The pass rush win rate, 58% of the time, almost basically, out of 10 plays, 6 plays, Micah is getting to the quarterback. He's winning the pass rush. That's number 1 in the NFL. Not just Micah, by the way. That's the entire Cowboy defensive line. So, almost a 60% pass rush win rate by this entire line. That starts with Micah, by the way. So, Micah Parsons, big shout-outs to what, he's battling out there and trying to overcome and still being one of the best players in the league.
So, Micah also added in there, and I thought this was kind of funny. He said, "I told him, don't be afraid. I get it. Don't be afraid to go somewhere else. I think I'm at the point in my career where I understand what they're trying to do, and I need other guys to get going. So that way, it can open it back up for me. It's sacrifice time."
So, yeah, he's got to get triple teamed and held so other guys get sacks, is what he's trying to say.
But he's also trying to, in a very polite way, just kind of say, like, hey, I need the someone else on the D-line to step it up the way that I have been so that I can get back to doing what I need to do on the D-line. So, I don't know, that's just how I took that personally. So, and part of the problem, too, is, guys, right, we're playing football, not soccer. Micah's not going to start flopping about the field like a fish, or jerking and screaming in pain.
He's not going to act and flop and take, make it look like he's getting held worse. He's going to still just keep attacking.
So, Micah added in there, I'm not into the flopping business. I'm not into dramatics, man. I just want to kill this guy, whether he got to hold me, whether you're going to see
love it.
There's going to be another play. There's going to be another opportunity. You've just got to know when to take it. I'm not going to learn how to be like these basketball players and quarterbacks where, I just flail on the ground and because some guy is holding me. And then I can miss the sack because I'm flailing to the ground.
Yeah.
So
he's not doing soccer moves. He's not doing, basketball moves. He's doing Micah Parsons moves. And that's never-ending pass rush. And that's fantastic there. By the way, much love to Zach Luna dropping that 5 on it.
Woo.
The $5 holler. Jason Renfro down to 68 points on the stream boss. And Zach Luna, who came in, I think he was second place last week on the overall board. He drops the 5 halfway, guys, as you know, to that fantastic raffle going down by the man, the lunatic. You've seen it. You know it. He's halfway there for Zach Luna. What did the man say?
He said, we're making it past the divisional round with this one.
We should, but I got to see it, right, Zach? I got to see it. I got to see it happen. We can't just talk it. And to get to the past the divisional round, we're going to have to play a wild card game probably. Like 90% probability we're going to have to play on the road at Atlanta or Tampa or New Orleans. And if we beat them, which we should, it's going to be a high percentage is going to be either at Philly or at San Francisco. So we're going to have to win that game. We're going to have to get that monkey off our back. And winning on the road against a real team in the playoffs. And if we win that game, that to me is, either out or I think it would propel us. It'd be a major weight off our shoulders to get into the NFC Championship game, and that could propel us into the Super Bowl to that 6 and beyond, right? I hear you, Zach, and go Cowboys. Much love to Zach Luna on the board as well. Now tied in third place on this overall board.
Yeah, I've been chalked on Montana to wait. Take it easy.
Much love Mr. Montana in the house.
Mike Aldana saying it's a revolving door when Micah draws all the attention, and that should open up opportunities for others and vice
That's
versa.
why he said somebody else got to step up, and they are. They are still stepping up, but he wants to see more sacks.
A little more consistency and more.
I agree. So much love to you guys, and as we continue, you're seeing here. I don't know if you have any more from Micah. I think he did, right? Micah broke it down for us here. Did he speak any more on things?
That was actually it from Micah Parsons.
Well, then let me just say this, because I'm transitioning from this defensive talk. We're going to transition to the Seattle offense. But we're talking our defense here. Micah leading the way he spoke. What about the odds to win Defensive Player of the Year?
Well, you have to imagine that based on some of your earlier comments as far as other guys being a little banged up maybe, and even being held through Ace to Sunday, he's having quite the impact.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm guessing he's up in there in the top 5.
Last week he was 4. He was second on this list, and he was like 150 back, I think, on the odds. But this week, Myles Garrett's still in first place with 130 to 1. Micah Parsons is 160 to 1. Only 30 back. So again, Myles Garrett didn't have any sacks last week. Got injured. He's day to day. I hope he plays the whole year, healthy as he can be. But if he misses a game or two, Micah now is in the driver's seat. He will pass him up this week if Garrett doesn't play. So Micah Parsons right there. Then a bigger drop from Micah to T.J. Watt at 250 to 1 odds. And then, baby, in fourth place on this board, Daron Bland, right behind T.J. Watt. Now, far behind, 2,500 to 1 odds. But still, fourth now on the Defensive Player of the Year. So we'll see what happens here. Nick Bosa, 3,500 to 1 odds. Daniel Hunter, 3,500 to 1 odds. Chris Jones, Max Crosby, also 3,500 to 1 odds. So we'll see what happens with Daron Bland. But I do want to say something about Bland. He's been targeted. This is going to be important for this matchup. He's been targeted 59 times this season so far. Starting every game, remember that. These passes have yielded a passer rating 3 points worse than just if they threw the ball into the ground. What do you think? So, again, the fact that he had 59 targets against him and the quarterback rating was lower than if the quarterback just threw it into the ground and just spiked the ball every time. 59 times spiking the ball. He's
Daron Bland better than the ground confirmed?
I mean, I'm just saying, Daron Bland it's safer to throw you'll get a better quarterback rating if you throw incompletions consistently every time you try to target Daron Bland than if you target Daron Bland. Again, it's incredible, the lockdown coverage and the ball hawk ability that you're seeing with a combination there from someone like Daron Bland. Not allowing the yards, not allowing the quarterbacks to be successful when they target him, and just fantastic there. Again, not only that though, what's the outcome of these plays, right? A net negative of 4 touchdowns to the offense. The more you target him, right now because they targeted him, it took away 4 touchdowns from opposing offenses this year. When you target Daron Bland, this is an incredible switch. It's not just the points that they're about to score on us, or the points they lose targeting Bland. It's also Bland takes the pick and then adds points to our total. So I'm just saying this is the incredible statistic. That's why he was seeing him at the top of the list on the defensive players of the year right now. He's 4th on the list. And one last thing, because it involves Micah Parsons and Tony Pollard. Why? If you watch the Sounds of the Sideline, if you watch NFL, Inside the NFL, NFL Films put out a little clip that showed after Daron Bland's touchdown, that record-breaking 5th pick 6 of the season, Micah Parsons and Tony Pollard were amazed by him. They ran to him, and you can hear them, and they were mic'd up. Micah Parsons was saying, it's greatness. It's greatness. It's greatness. He just kept repeating greatness to him. And then Tony Pollard came over and said, bro, I'm out here witnessing greatness every day, in reference to this incredible record that Daron Bland just broke. So this ad, I know people say the records don't matter, and they really don't when you want to win the Super Bowls, but the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the family feeling that they got together, this adds to that. They want to see their brothers doing great. They want to see their teammates doing these things that you've never seen before. This inspires an entire team, and that's why if anything, that's the biggest importance of these records, in my opinion. So, any quick thoughts in there, baby, before we get to the deeper dive on this Seattle battle?
Frame Ripper is cracking me up. He said, not only is he locking fools down, he's stripping them naked and hosing away their ambitions like an Iraqi gulag. Yeah.
100% I agree to that.
There's who you were before Micah Parsons and who you are after Micah Parsons. And who you are after Micah Parsons is someone, changed, right? Like, I have to admit, I think one of the things that I enjoy most in this world is watching quarterbacks flinch when Micah gets too close. Because, even with great pocket presence and everything else, like almost every single one has that little tell where you see them for just a split second go, oh shit, with their entire body until they, kind of get it back together. So just, we love to see it. We love to see it. So, by the way, Jason Renfro, thank you. Appreciate you. He just dropped a $2 holler.
Boom, boom.
I'm assuming a classic Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Much love to Jason Renfro. Appreciate that drop. I didn't see it come through yet, but when it does, we'll shout you out one other second. And by the way, baby, I got a big drop to shout out here from one of the men that took over that Cash App some while back. Not Jason Renfro. Is it Stanley Smith? Yes, it is. Woo. He dropped that 26 Daron Bland dollar holler right there. And he is the leader in the Cash App. He is the leader on the overall board. And you see the bottom right, that raffle? Hell yeah. He's got 2 raffle entries into this fantastic 4-prize raffle we got going down. So Stanley Smith, he's 4 away from adding another raffle entry and having 3 total. I don't think he's in the membership, but if he is, that would add a 4th or a 3rd raffle entry, and he's 4 away from the next one. So much love to Stanley Smith with the Go Cowboys, with the Daron Bland drop, and I'll fix the board. He's first place on the overall and the Cash App side currently as we speak.
Oh, so let me see here.
Great timing.
Lil Dallas Cowboy, no, they did not make out. They're just friends, just friends.
Oh, there it is.
And there it is.
There's that $2 holler and that Go Cowboys from Jason Renfro.
Oh, Mike Aldana also throwing out there, Bland's also very humble, even with all the recognition.
Agree. I mean, extremely humble. I love it because it's almost like he doesn't want to be in the spotlight right now.
Well, no, and he said it once or twice as well. Like, the personal stats just kind of come with doing
hard work,
your contribution to the team, right? And he's just like, I'm contributing to the team. I'm doing my job. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I want to keep it up. So even when talking about his own accomplishments, he just kind of talks about it in a very, like, sideline type of way.
Yeah, very quiet.
Better way
seems
of
shy
it a little bit.
But he speaks. All I hear is him speaking on the field the way he's been speaking. Everyone's hearing him now. He don't have to say much. He just does that, and everyone's listening. Everyone's hearing him. Yeah, I agree. So much love, Jason. Much love, Stanley Smith. As we got our first place spots now reshuffled. Stanley Smith in first place. I think Skeptical's in first place. 2 gifting memberships already. Stanley Smith got the other 2 boards. Jason got 70 on the stream boss after that $2 holler. J. Lou style. Thank you all, and go Cowboys. Now, let's talk about this game against the Slithery Seagulls, the Sea Chickens, whatever you want to call them. Guess, yeah, I'm going to put it up here. Drop your emojis if you got them. You know what to do. Sea Chickens, the fucking neon green, pissed off Toucan Sams, I don't know. The tears they'll be shedding, hopefully, after this game. And, of course, before that last tear hits the ground, off with their heads, I say. Off with their heads. We're going to talk about them in a minute. Baby, I got to check something real quick here. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Hit up another comment or two.
So, Jason Ruff from Much Love saying, Bland keeps getting pick sixes. He'll move to the top of that, defensive player of the year.
Oh yeah. If he gets another pick 6, I think he wins it. I mean, that's the defensive player of the year. He'll win it if he don't collapse, in coverage. He gets one more pick 6 anytime this year. He's winning that. I agree. By the way, again, stopping the thing for a minute here, baby, because I did stop it for a reason. Stanley Smith dropping another 1, 2, 3, 4 Dak Prescott. Yes, the Dak has been dropped. Stanley Smith, much love, and now he's officially, currently, at 3 raffle entries for this 4 prize raffle, upping his chances to win either one of those 2 jerseys in first or second place. That signed hat by Micah Parsons, that autographed, right, embroidered hat there, and of course the shirt that comes with that, or the car package. Much love to Stanley Smith, in first place on all boards, and currently has the most raffle entries currently for this huge raffle from the Lunatic. Much love. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry, any other comment?
No, it's all good. I think we touched on most of them here that were relevant to our discussion.
All right, good. So now we'll keep it moving, and let's talk about this game against the Seahawks on Thursday night. If we win this game, because Minnesota lost today to the Bears, if the Cowboys beat the Seahawks, I mean, we basically are locked at a worst-case scenario of being the 5th seed. Again, it's crazy that, again, we'd be 3 games up on the Vikings and the Seahawks, and only have 5 games to play after this. So again, guys, if we beat the Seahawks, we basically clinch the 5th seed at worst. You hear?
Yeah. I mean, again, that's, like you said, at least we pretty much secure our spot, and that is kind of the spot that we are expecting to end up staying at when it comes to the playoff pictures, just because...
Yeah, all that would depend. Again, if we beat the Eagles...
Too much outside of our control to end up anywhere other than 5th seed. What is in our control is ending up 5th seed. In the sense that, win
that's
out
the only
your
thing we
games,
can guarantee.
do what you're supposed to do.
We win our games, we got 5th seed, which is, should be an easier game on the road. Again, and then we got to go to some hard games on the road.
Yeah, that's why, to me, it feels like that one at least is more within your control.
Yeah, so, look, we'll see what happens. But either way, they are at... the Eagles, the Eagles, I don't want to worry about them too much right now. We'll deal with them as we have to, right? I mean, this I don't even know who to pick in this game, who I want to see. I hate both teams, the Niners and the Eagles, but for our case, we have to hope the Niners slip up somewhere else, and the Eagles have to slip up at least 2 times, and then we have to beat them the other time. There's six games left, so 3 of them have to go our way. So, and if we do that, and the Niners slip up once, that could be, the way the Cowboys get that 1st seed. But it's still a long way to go, and the percentages are really hard right now on that. But let's worry about the Seahawks, because we don't do any of this stuff, even have a chance for any of that stuff, without being the Seattle Seahawks. So right now, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, they opened up as 7-point favorites against Seattle, the Cowboys, for this Thursday night game. But now the betting line has moved. It went from 7 points to now it's 9.5 points. So...
Again, obviously,
big
I have a feeling
move
that
there.
that number is going to probably creep into double digits by the time that our game is actually played.
Yeah, we're half a point away.
Unfortunately, you already know what these types of stats, though, these types of predictions already mean for all those Cowboy haters out there.
Yeah.
They're going to start by saying, oh, well, Seattle sucks. They're not even that good. You guys just beat a shitty team.
The Seahawks are in trouble. They got a tough schedule here, guys, ahead of them. And a lot of people are saying they're not making the playoffs this year based on the schedule they got. And I agree. I think it's going to be real tough for them to make the playoffs. But we got to be part of the process that keeps them out of the playoffs, right? So right now it's going to be right now it's 9.5-point favorites for the Cowboys at home against a slumping Seattle team. But let's look at some reasons why it may go up a little bit, because Jason Peters, again, looks like he's going to be okay for the Seahawks, but he's not even going to start, guys, because he's going to lose that starting spot at right tackle. I told you about Abe Lucas, right, guys? Abe Lucas, he's coming off the IR. He's going to all signs point to he's going to play against the Cowboys on Thursday. So today in practice for the Seahawks, we talked about the Cowboys practice. 41-year-old veteran Jason Peters, who, again, kind of lost his position. What do you think about that? Is teaching pass sets right now to their starting left guard, Damian Lewis. So he is, kind of trying to, do what he did with the Cowboys, with Tyler Smith. Like, he might not be starting. Guess what he's still doing? Having
that type of, guidance,
teaching,
mentorship role.
He's teaching these guys, and he's in there doing everything to try to upgrade these guys. He's really the left guard, Damian Lewis, right now, but I'm saying he's a guy that, is going to need guidance, and Jason Peters is back to guiding him, I guess you can say, as, Abe Lucas is going to take over that starting spot, which he was starting before he got injured. Now, looking at the Seattle Seahawks, injury report, practice report, they had two guys that were full participation. Wide receiver Jake Bobo with a shoulder and linebacker Derek Hall. They were both full practice, so they were good to go for the game if there's no setbacks. This was an estimation, guys. They didn't have a full practice today, the Seahawks. But they had some guys limited in practice. Guard Anthony Bradford with a knee. Tackle Abraham Lucas, who I just talked about him. Abe Lucas, guy trying to come off the IR. They have wide receiver D. Eskridge with the rib injury, and safety Jamal Adams, who has a knee issue, but it was really for resting. It was a resting day for him, for Jamal Adams. So he's going to be good to go. Now, who did not practice at all? These are the guys that the Seahawks are really got to watch here if it's not a rest day, and they don't have a rest day at all because they're starting running back, Kenneth Walker III. I'm going to talk more about these guys on offense, but he has an oblique injury. He missed the game against the Niners last week, and might miss this game against the Cowboys. He did not practice today. Wide receiver Derek Young with an abdomen injury did not practice. Guard Phil Haynes, starter by the way, with a toe injury, did not practice. Defensive edge, in the 3-4 there formerly of the Giants, now with the Seahawks. Leonard Williams has an ankle injury, probably more rest, but again, he did not practice at all today. And tight end Will Dissly has a hip injury. He did not practice. Now I checked out what's the insight on these guys. Seattle Seahawks really go in depth about this on their different sites out there. So I did some research. They have 5 players that missed practice because of injuries. Kenneth Walker was unable to practice from that oblique that kept him out since that Week 11 loss to the Rams. He wasn't able to get back in time for the Thanksgiving game against the Niners. So that's my look. And tonight I'm going to talk about this guy as well. Their rookie, who I liked a lot in this past draft, Zach Charbonnet. Now he's become the starter last game against the Niners. He's a tough runner for being a little guy. He will possibly be the lead back for the second consecutive week if Kenneth Walker III does not improve by Thursday night. So they also had other guys that didn't practice. Phil Haynes, the starting guard, wide receiver Derek Young, and tight end Will Dissly, their number 2 tight end. All these 3 guys are on the offensive side of the ball, and they missed the practice today. So that's something to keep an eye on tomorrow. The other guy on defense, which we'll touch on tonight, is Leonard Williams. That'll be tomorrow. We'll touch on him. Leonard Williams, who's dealing with an ankle injury right now, and we'll keep an eye on that. Now, Abraham Lucas coming off the IR like Hendershot is going to do. He was limited in practice, but he's trying to return to action. The percentages, he's going to probably come back this week. He was a full participant in practice. He got hurt in week 1, but he's a full participant in practice. I think earlier in last week, and now he's just getting more work now, maybe a little harder work, and they're limiting him a little bit here before this Thursday night game. But basically, Pete Carroll said, quote, Abe Lucas is practicing this week. He's practicing this week, and we're going to see if he can play. We'll find out. He's got to withstand the rigors of the week of practice, as always, and then we'll determine that later on. So that's a big upgrade for the Seahawks if they get their starting right tackle back. Now, another limited guy was D. Eskridge. All right, he's dealing with a rib injury. He's a wide receiver. He's their kick returner against against the Niners last week. And he had a 66-yard kick return in the first quarter. So he was pretty electrifying. He's kind of slowed down, limited in practice. And rookies Jake Bobo and Derek Hall were shoulder injuries that were fully participating in practice. Now, you guys know the Cowboy injuries. I'm not going to go over that again. But mainly it's a lot of resting guys. When it comes to the Seahawks, I'm going to kind of break down some of the reason why they have a lot of issues on this team. And let me move the chop head to the tiers, because this is kind of, they're going to cry here. They're struggling. We're talking about our big D. We're going to put it right under the Seahawks and their offense. Why they are struggling majorly. We touched on this yesterday. They scored 1 touchdown in 2 games on offense. They have a 2-game losing streak right now. They lost 3 of their last 4 games. They are barely clinging on to the final wild card in the NFC. The Seahawks have been sputtering. They have a grounded offense right now. For more than a month, this offense has not been working for Seattle. They've been scoring 20 or fewer points. 20 or less points, guys, in the last 6 games. So they're not even going to get close to that 20 against us. They shouldn't. And they were also shut out in the end zone. They didn't score touchdowns. In losses to the Ravens and the Niners. And everyone deserves a piece of the blame if you're the Seahawks right there. After he won the Comeback Player of the Year, Geno Smith, quarterback, not looking the same as he did last year. You know, he's seen his touchdown percentage cut by nearly 50%, in half. And his completion rate has dropped almost 5%, which is a lot. You drop that much, that's a lot of completion percentage drop off right there. So not a good situation for Geno Smith this year. Offensive coordinator, his name is Shane Waldron. Under fire all year for failing to maximize what they think is the team's skill talent. Seattle has scored just 3 offensive touchdowns. 3 touchdowns in the last 4 games. And again, they did not even find the end zone on offense against the Niners, not once. And the one before that was against the Rams, where they scored on the first drive and they didn't score again for the next 2 days, for the next 2 games. So again, the only touchdown they did get against the Niners was a pick 6 by Jordan Brooks at linebacker. Not on offense, on defense. And DK Metcalf on offense, right, caught an 8-yard touchdown pass from Geno Smith on Seattle's opening drive against the Rams 2 weeks ago. After that, the Seahawks have gone 20 consecutive offensive possessions without finding the end zone for a touchdown. That is how bad the Seahawks are currently struggling on offense. So how are they going to try to help this thing? Well, listen, here's the thing, guys. They're trying to find an identity on offense. You remember this for us? They're trying to find an identity. It's at the end of the year here, so this is not a good time to try to find your identity. We get it. We did it right before our bye, right during our bye week, right, probably the maximum we could have waited to get our offense to go. The Seahawks are sputtering right now, and at its best, they've used multiple tight ends. They establish the run when they're at their best, and they do a lot of play action calls off of the running success they might have had, but in recent weeks, the rhythm of their offense has disappeared the last month or so. Seattle's offense was overmatched in that blowout loss to Baltimore. Again, they didn't have any countering move, any countering strategy on offense against the Rams after the opening drive. The performance against the Niners for Pete Carroll is a tipping point. He knows this is it. Everything's a must-win for them, or they're going to lose the grip on that last playoff spot. We're talking about the last 3 to 5 games for the Seahawks. In the last 5 games, 26.6% of the time is how the Seahawks fared on third down. That's how many times they completed a third down. They converted a third down. 26.6% of the time, guys. They made 17 out of 65 third downs. I'm going to ask you about this stuff, my love, so I want to make sure you know. 17 first downs on third down on 65 third down attempts. That is, in 5 games, that is pitiful. Now, the Seahawks were not really that much better before this. This is a low of low for them, guys. But again, the first 6 games, they were at 36% in completing and converting third downs to first downs. Now they've dropped to 26%. They dropped 10%, basically, guys. They're going downhill on offense in a big way. I will say, again, I'm going to get into the receivers and the quarterback a little more before I get to the real root of their problem. Because you look at the rookie, Jackson Smith in Jabba, he's the best receiver in the draft. At least that's what he was touted as. Made one of the best catches of the year. You saw him with the one-handed grab. He falling down. He had 34 yards, converted a key third down. One of their few key third downs they converted in the second half against, I think, the Niners. At that point, Seattle trailed 24-10, and a touchdown could have changed the game, but they were not able to get the touchdown. I think they fumbled, and the Niners eventually blew them out. But the point is, they hung with the Niners twice, I think. Oh, no, once this year. They play them again, I think, after next week. I think they play the Niners. When we play the Eagles, they play the Niners. So either way, though, again, the rookie JSN, fantastic, draft pick in my opinion, a great offensive player. I think you have, again, the trio of receivers with the Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf, who's by far their stud receiver, right? So he's fast, he's strong. It's going to be interesting to see who the Cowboys put on him in coverage. We'll probably talk about that on Wednesday for the for kind of the must-win matchups for the Cowboys. But you also got, of course, veteran Tyler Lockett, who again can definitely tear you up. I think you got to watch him as well. And then, of course, the rookie Jackson Smith and Jibba. Seattle is just one of 4 teams in the NFL this year with 3 different wide receivers. 3 different receivers currently at 400 receiving yards or more. Metcalf is the leader, of course, at 678 yards. We got guys like, CeeDee Lamb way past 1,000 already. But either way, they have 3 receivers that have 400 or more yards, which, means you got to watch them all. You got to watch all of their receivers. They will attack, with any of these guys. Lockett, and I can't say the S. What was his name? JSN and Tyler Lockett. I do want to also say, when you look at Geno Smith, their quarterback, he's been banged up. He's been beat up and stuff like this. So again, why is he getting banged up? Is it because he's getting a lot of sacks. He's getting sacked a lot. No, he's not getting sacks. He's getting sacked a lot, and he's getting hit a lot in games, game after game after game, guys. The offense for the Seahawks allow a lot of sacks. In Seattle's 6 wins, the Seahawks have allowed a total of only 9 sacks, but in their 5 losses, they've been sacked 18 times. And if you look at the Niner game last week, he was sacked 6 times against the Niners last week. So Geno Smith is really, the problem with Geno Smith is not just that he's all his numbers are going down, but it's also the fact that he's not able to really do much out there when he's, trying to throw the ball. Now, look, you got a running game that you're trying to work with here. And again, when I say this running game, it's not as great as you think it is, because right now, running back Kenneth Walker III, who made a big impact in his rookie year last year and joined Seattle running back legend Kurt Warner as the only first-year running backs in franchise history for the Seahawks to rush for 1,000 yards. But now through 8 weeks, he was looking really good. He was still becoming a bigger threat in the offense, and then he got banged up. Then he got injured. And if you look at the way that they were using him, guys, Kenneth Walker, he bounces to the outside about 26% of the time. About 22%, out of those runs, out of the 100% of those runs that he runs to the outside and he bounces outside, only 22% they are successful running with him to the outside. So, again, when you look at that is defined as 40% of the remaining yards on first down, 60% on second down, and converting a third or fourth down. So not very successful at doing these things when they were running with Kenneth Walker, even if he had the yardage, and he's been banged up now. He's trying to get back out there, but he is not, when they run the ball, specifically with Kenneth Walker, but even in general, they're not very successful on first, second, third, or fourth downs. Now, Kenneth Walker, he's an agile running back. His ability to make up stuff is part of why he's really good, but he's leaning into a strength that is really a weakness of the Seahawks. It's really a lot of the offensive line issues. So how is he going to how any guy's going to run on this, through this Seattle offensive line if they're not really blocking well? Now, the thing about Kenneth Walker, if he plays, he's very patient. He waits behind the line to set up his offensive linemen for their blocks to develop. He usually makes multiple cuts on his runs right and left. And when he's at his best, Kenneth Walker does not run over defenders. He leaves them falling. More like a Pollard-style, quicker guy, let's say. But they have another guy on their running back core there, Zach Charbonnet. In his style, he trucks the guy over. Even being a little smaller, even being, a rookie, his trucking of opposing defensive players fires up the offense. And Charbonnet has sought to run over defenders instead of eluding them or going out of bounds. And he's been doing this since training camp. So he's been showing a special toughness in the run game. So again, this guy will probably be the starter if Kenneth Walker. It will definitely be the starter if Kenneth Walker does not play.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Charbonnet, the rookie, he'll be trying to run you over. The probability is that he will be the guy. But if Walker's in there, they got two guys. They got a guy who runs you over like, let's say, Rico Dowdle, and a guy like Tony Pollard who maybe makes more cuts and moves, right? So you got the 1-2 punch. Right now they only got one punch, and it's a rookie one. So we'll see how that continues for them. Also, tight ends. They got tight ends in there, and you figure that Noah Fant, we know his cousin or something, right? He's on the Cowboys practice squad. But this year, 2023, it's been forgettable for the Seahawks at their tight end position. Really bad. Tight end Noah Fant was traded from Denver to Seattle, and he had some good games there last year. But this year, guys, he went over 40 receiving yards in 3 of the Seahawks' first 4 games. Not bad, not great, but not bad. But since those first 4 games, production has fallen off the cliff for the tight end, specifically Noah Fant. Fant has finished with double-digit receiving yards just twice. That means he might have not caught a pass or got any yards, or he might have caught a pass or 2 and still got under 10 yards.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad for Noah Fant there. And it's not necessarily his fault. It's the scheme. It's the quarterback with no time. But listen, that includes a combined total of just 10 receiving yards for Noah Fant over the last 3 games for Seattle. Combined. 10 yards, double digits, in 3 games. Tight ends are not being used a lot here. And if you even look to their backup, which is banged up, Will Dissly, it's not just like Fant. It's all their tight ends. Will Dissly, he did better than Noah Fant week 11. He had 9 yards. 1 catch for 9 yards. That's how much he had to do to outdo their number 1 tight end, Noah Fant. So they don't use their tight ends at all. That's another, again, without the pass ability. They have all the great receivers they got, but they don't have an ability to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand in time to the receivers or to the tight ends or to the running backs. And again, they're not really fully there at the running side of things. But I got to say this, guys. No matter how you slice it up and dice it up, these Seattle Sea Chickens, their main issue, biggest thing, they got issues all over. I've spoken about already. Their main issue on offense is their offensive line. But they're in a transition right now because they're trying to get back to healthier, and they're going to get a little healthier against us. Listen to this. Geno Smith having issues. Their play caller, Waldron, they have issues. They have their hands truly tied behind their backs. You know why? Because the Seahawks have a banged-up offensive line that has gotten worse as the season has progressed. They have started 8 different combinations out there in 11 games. 8 different. We know about this from our COVID year, but they have 8 different combinations on the offensive line in their 8 out of 11 games. And they also have 4. They've used 4 different right tackles to start out there in their 11 games. Through 12 weeks, Seattle's offensive line has been the definition of average. They're not horrible, but they're definitely average, and I'd say at best. And really, since the start of the season, they've been like that. So, ESPN had them ranked in 16th. ESPN's Next Gen Stats had them ranked, the Seahawks offensive line, 16th in pass blocking win rate and 13th in run block win rate. So right there, average, right? But Pro Football Focus, PFF, had them graded out at 22nd in pass protection and a little bit better, 10th in run blocking. So it sounds like their run blocking could be better. Pass protection is not very good. So from that perspective, I guess you can say even with the bad performances on the field and the injuries, they're still average for most of the time, most of these, rankings and analytics and stats. So they could be worse, is what I'm trying to say. After missing 3 games earlier in the season, second-year left tackle, the blindside guy, Charles Cross, has played some of the best football in his career. And, again, second year only. But he's given up no sacks and no quarterback hits in 3 consecutive games. So offensive line-wise, Charles Cross, he's their best player. He's their left tackle. Charles Cross, number 67. Micah, yeah, he'll go up on him against him sometimes and test him, but I want to see Micah all over the place. I see now also an amazing drop of a $10 holler. And you know what that means, baby. Amazing Games dropping that $10 Cooper Rush holler, and he's also officially in our raffle, the lunatic style here, guys. 4 great prizes. And Amazing Games has his first raffle entry. I'm pretty sure he's in the membership. That would make it 2 entries already. And again, you can keep stacking them. So every 10, you get another entry here, guys. You know the prizes. I'll throw them up real quick for you guys in case you forgot. This is 4th place, the car package there, the car kit package. Mm-hmm. You got the hat embroidered by signature by Micah Parsons with that 11. Oof, and you can pick any name in the back of that shirt with any number. But you can make it Micah Parsons special if you wanted to, or your name. Anyways, you can also look at first or second place prize, which is the same thing. You know what it is, guys. The sewn and stitched jerseys, cowboy mosh style, and a lot of choices to pick from. You guys know the deal. Those are the top 2 prizes. You got this as 3rd prize. You got this as 4th prize. Anybody who wins can pick any prize. If you're the first winner, you could pick the car package.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, but $10.
You got first dibs.
Exactly. $10 to get in this thing, like Amazing Games just did. Membership, he got an extra bonus entry. He's got 2 entries there for the raffle. And, again, every 10 on top. You got Stanley Smith right now. He's got 3. He's stacking them 1, 2, 3. And he's at the top of the board as well, and the Cash App board. So, hey, that's how you do it. Much love to De Lunatic for making this thing happen. And that's right. You see the eagle back there. It's still dealing with birds, but that's when we're going to do the raffle for this one, guys, next week at halftime. 4 great prizes brought to you by the Lunatic.
Ooh.
Yeah. So much love there. Who was that got it? Amazing Games. Let me add them to the board. Hit up a comment or 2, baby, if you can. As I'm going to get more. Finish up with the offensive line
Games, here. Said what's up, MCF.
Yes, much love, brother.
Love, go Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, I forgot his comment. I'm sorry. Yes, much love, Amazing Games. West Side. Much love, Amazing Games. Amazing drop. I'm going to add him to the board here in a minute. Any other comments in there real quick while I do my thing?
Let me see. A little Dallas Cowboy throwing out there. I trust Vegas. They usually are right on either. Let me see. They usually are right on the winner. But when you've got a lightning rod of attention like Jerry World, they usually up the numbers to draw in gamblers. Yeah, no, I do agree with you on that. I think Vegas is surprisingly closer than we all assume sometimes. You know, it's not, you don't go by that, but they hit it really close, almost. I'd say 70% of the time. So agreed there. Agreed. So, no, I'm just trying to roll back a little bit here. GM wants to know, can he get double-digit takeaways? Who? Kelvin Joseph. Daron Bland. I mean, shit. I mean, he can. I mean, we got Trayvon Diggs did it, right? Everson Walls was the guy to do that before. That was in the early 80s there. So Trayvon Diggs did it. Doesn't happen very often, but yeah, Daron Bland, he's 3 away from getting 10. He's got 7 right now. Incredible. So, let me see. No, I think we touched on all those comments. Let me come back down. Oh, hold up, wait a minute. Thank you very much there, and thank you as well to Hannibal King 47, who dropped his own $5 holler. You know what that means? He's in the raffle officially. I'm not sure if he's in the membership, but he's definitely in the raffle. And because he's in the raffle, he's got a chance to win one of those 4 great prizes brought to you by the Lunatic. So much love to Hannibal, who, by the way, is also tied currently with Amazing Games for 4th place on our board. What did the man say? He said, when will we see Martavius Bryant? I mean, can I be real, Hannibal King? Can I be real? Hit him with the real. I mean this in the nicest way. Hopefully never. I mean that truly in the nicest way. Because if we see Martavius Bryant, that usually, and especially with the way our team is set up now, that means somebody got hurt. Someone's out for heck, even a week or 2 could make a huge difference now that we're in a kind of the tougher stretch of games, right? So yeah, hopefully we do not ever really see Martavius Bryant. I understand why. If we have to see him, it'll be maybe next year. That's probably more realistic if he stays on board. Yeah. And that's, again, only if we have to. So, thank you again, Hannibal King. Appreciate you. Much love. By the way, in case you didn't know,
what's up?
Marissa Sparkle just dropped.
Oh, Marissa in the house.
A $20 Pollard drop in the chat.
I didn't see it on my side, baby, but much love to Marissa Sparkling in the house here. Appreciate you. And you said a Tony Pollard? That's two raffle entries.
Yes, it is.
And she's, of course, in the star level. So that's 3 raffle entries. She's up on that board, making a run at these jerseys or these prizes. What did the great Marissa Sparkle have to say, baby?
A chance at winning a car for $10? I'm in.
A miniature.
Why is that not first prize, though?
I'll tell you, I'm gonna get a Cowboy Hot Wheels car. That'll be the car. Cowboy car. A little Matchbox Hot Wheels car.
Now it's mandatory. We gotta try to find it.
we're gonna find it. I used to have one as a little kid. I used to have a Cowboy Matchbox, or I don't know. I had a Matchbox and a Hot Wheels Cowboy vehicle. Much love, Marissa. There it is. She put that Tony Pollard down. And she's in second place on our overall board. It has 3 raffle entries. So much love to Marissa. And always go Cowboys. She's right there in Big D, representing that star over everything.
So,
Appreciate
shout out to you, Snug, who, by the way, guys, remember, make sure to show some love to Mr. Snug in the chat.
Yeah.
Sponsor of the week, the Cash App King.
Yeah, he's rocking that back to back like a 90s Cowboys. You know it. Much love to Snug, who's repping both of those boards proudly. We know why he's here. Because he's repping that star over everything. Now let's go back to the Sea Chickens. What do you say? Jason, by the way, Jason Renfro, 35 points on that boss of Stream, the Stream boss. So we got this thing rolling. We got to be cooking these Sea Chickens up. And their biggest issue, guys, is their offensive line. So just so you guys know, even though things could be worse for their offensive line, they have a lot of issues. Now, their best guy, like I stated here, is number 67 on their offensive line, Charles Cross. He's played some of his best kind of football right now in the last, while the team is suffering in recent games. He's been playing very well. So, again, especially in 3 consecutive games, as I said, he's gave up no sacks on that left side. No sacks given up in 3 straight games. And again, he's a former top 10 pick, this guy, Charles Cross. Right now, he currently ranks 15th in the NFL in pass blocking out of 48 qualified tackles. So definitely the top, closer to the top of the cream of the crop here when it comes to those left tackles. Charles Cross is up there. So got to respect him on that left side. But that means to me, like, I would put Micah there, some snaps, but let's use them other places where they're weaker. And then you cause weakness in other places, then you're going to weaken Charles Cross. He's going to have to help out the other guys, and that's going to weaken him. And you got to go up against DeMarcus Lawrence. That's trouble. Sam Williams going to give him some trouble. Dante Fowler, assuming he gets over his sickness. So, according to Pete Carroll, the Seahawks have a good chance to, and we talked about this already, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about their other offensive linemen on the other side. On their right tackle spot, their starter, Abraham Lucas. Again, like Hendershot, he's slated to return soon. He's got to return soon because if he's not able to, then he will be out for the year like Hendershot would be if he don't return soon. But this Abraham Lucas is a former 3rd-round pick out of Washington State. He started 16 regular season games as a rookie last year. Both these guys are young. Cross and Lucas are young, second-year guys. But they are their cornerstones on that offensive line, on the edges, at their tackles position there, at the offensive left and right tackle. So last year was great. Started 16 games in the regular season, and then he returned to practice, Lucas, 2 weeks ago after receiving an injection in his knee, in September. So again, without Lucas, who still might not play this game, if he does, he's still coming off the injury, so we'll see how he might not be 1,000%. But without Lucas, who's been out since week 1, guys, they've had to rely on some kind of old or scrubbier players. The Seattle started Jake Curhan. And then they started then they started Stone Forsythe. I'm just saying 2 scrubs back-to-back there. Most recently, this last game, they started 41-year-old veteran, former Cowboy, offensive lineman there, Jason Peters, at right tackle. He was their right tackle last week, got injured. And he's got a stinger. He looks like he'll be okay. But he'll play a backup role in this game, most probably. Again, assuming that Lucas is back. And if he's not, they might roll with Jay Curran or Stone Forsythe. Who knows? But per PFF, those 3 guys I just mentioned at right tackle have accounted for 38.6% of the total pressures that were given up, and Geno Smith had to survive. That's over a third of the pressures are coming from these 4 guys at right tackle. That's the second worst percentage of a right tackle group in the entire NFL. So again, family, please hear me here, but let's we got that great pass rush, win rate, and all that pressure percentage and all that good shit. Let's not waste our best player when it comes to Micah Parsons. Let's not waste him on going up against Charles Cross, against their left tackle. Let's go and give this Abraham Lucas coming right off an injury after 1 game in week 1. Let's get him tested. Let's test the other guy, Stone Forsythe, or Jason Peters, whoever. Micah, move him around over the center, over the edges, move him around. So that's kind of what we're seeing. I think we're going to see a way of Micah really, causing issues on this Seattle offensive line and in their backfield. Now, when you look at Forsythe, take away the old man Jason Peters. When you look at Forsythe and Curran, each of these guys have allowed at least 26 pressures, and they rank 78th and 79th in pass blocking out of 81 qualified tackles. I mean, we're talking about the worst 2 guys in the league, basically. They're one of the worst 2. And Jason Peters has been a slight upgrade in recent weeks, but he still posted a pass blocking efficiency rate under 95%, which is, for him, very bad. So, again, obviously the right tackle spot is their weakness. We got to see if they get their guy back. If they do, I still say test them. Getting a healthy Lucas back in the lineup across from Charles Cross, you got the left and right tackle would be I don't say a game changer, but it would be a big upgrade for the offense, giving the Seahawks a boost, trying to run the ball to the edges, and also, of course, getting protection for Geno Smith for this final stretch run of some tough games for the Seahawks. But let's look away from the tackles. Go to the center and the guards. Those 3 spots, interior offensive linemen. Guys, Seattle has question marks amongst their entire interior offensive line, center and guards. Still got to see what happens, guys. Are they going to be able to come back? But in the short term, 4th-year left guard Damian Lewis has been okay. He's been serviceable. But they don't have anyone better to help him out, to replace him, because he should not be starting for them. So right now, they got no one better. He's got to start. So keep an eye on Damian Lewis, number 68, right next to Charles Cross. Give him some pressure, too. It's going to open things up for us. Then you look at, again, decision for him will come after the year's over. At the other guard spot, the Seahawks have a guy who they got a quick glimpse of, a rookie Anthony Bradford, and his potential 4th-round pick. He has started 3 games in place of their starter, Phil Haynes, who's still banged up and did not practice today. So Phil Haynes is out right now, even though he's their starting right guard. They're trying to see if he's going to be able to play this week. Anthony Bradford is a rookie, number 75, and he's going to have some issues there if he plays in there. I will say this. Phil Haynes, who's the starter, and this Anthony Bradford, who's his backup, either guy who plays, their pass blocking efficiency, those numbers, those percentages are almost identical. They're not good. Either guy is not good. But I will say this. Phil Haynes a little bit better in the passing side of things. When it comes to the run blocking, that's where Anthony Bradford's significantly better than the starter. So he ranks 19th out of 85 qualified, PFF guards in run blocking. When it compares to Phil Haynes, he's at 60 out of 85. So if they want to run, they want to run. If they're going to have Anthony Bradford in there, they probably want to run to the right guard. If they're going to have Haynes, they probably want to pass. Either way, though, they're both kind of broken. To finish up here, guys, you got to look at the center. Evan Brown, formerly of the Detroit Lions. Evan Brown, number 63, another weak spot for them in a sense. The Seahawks signed this veteran to a 1-year contract, and he beat out rookie Olu Owatimi, who, again, they got, like I said earlier, guys, a lot of rookies behind these starters. So, again, their starters are banged up. So, again, Evan Brown did start off pretty strong, but now he's regressed, in a major way over the last 2 months, surrendering 3 sacks and 6 quarterback pressures in the last 3 games. In the pass protection department, Evan Brown ranks 22nd in pass block efficiency, 10th in pressures allowed, which is not that bad, but the efficiency is not good there. But he, again, not allowing a lot of pressures, and he's also right now 5th in sacks given up. not very good there in the NFL. They're out of 35 qualified centers. So right now he's been letting in sacks and pressures. He's been allowing not really good overall in technique. He's consistently struggling to move opposing defensive players in the trenches off the line of scrimmage. He ranks 32nd in run blocking. So not the best pass protection guy in the middle there, and definitely far from it when it comes to running the ball. So when I'm talking about this thing here, guys, in the offensive line, their center, their two guards, very weak at pass protection. All right, a little bit better at run blocking, but not that good at pass protection. Their tackles right now. Charles Cross, the best guy. Luke is coming off the injury. We have to test him. He's their second best guy. But if he don't come back, they're going to have Forsyth or Peters or any of these other scrubs that are going to suffer. Bradford, they're going to suffer. The starter's going to suffer no matter what. But these backups will be even a major gaping wound for them, for guys like Micah Parsons to come in there and attack and destroy and end this game, hopefully sooner than later, when it comes to playing these Seahawks. So, that's the breakdown from your guy here, My Cowboys. I wanted to investigate this offensive line, the Sea Chickens, and I was like, wow, they are pretty fucking bad. Pretty bad. So,
amazing games thrown out there, porque es Monday.
Yeah, Monday, and we're right around. It's weird, right? It's Monday, and it is right 2 days away from the game. It feels after today we got Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it's game day. Can't wait.
So, and of course, shout out to everybody here chilling with us. By the way,
for sure.
Jason Renfro wants to know if you can put up the raffle prizes up again. He said that we skipped them by them too fast the first time.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll put them up here as we do in our finale here, right? We're going to do our shout-outs in a minute.
Yeah.
And our last comments.
Kind of the final shout-outs, last comments here as I go through everybody's points. By the way, take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Hop in Discord. Links down below.
Remember the champions right now, baby, on the boards. And when it comes to the sponsor of the week and the Cash App, back-to-back, 2 straight weeks, like our 90s Cowboys, it's the man, Snug X. You know why he's here. Jason Renfro, 35 points in the Stream Boss. And Mary Alvarez, the queen of the gifting board there, the gifting memberships. Much love to her. Now, who's the leader this week and one day? Skeptical Fan, currently with 2 gifted memberships kick off this week. He's in first place on the gifting board. Jason's got 35 points in the Stream Boss, but the current leader on both boards, the Cash App board and the overall board, is none other. The man who dropped through the Cash App side of things, Mr. Stanley Smith. Much love to him. First place overall, first place in the Cash App, and right now tied with Marissa Sparkle with the most raffle entries for this fantastic, 4 prize raffle coming around the corner. Which again, Jason Renfro wanted to hear what they were, right? Mm-hmm. So you see it, $10 per entry. You can stack them, unlimited entries, and you get membership bonus entry as well if you're in any level of the membership. It's from the Lunatic. 4 great package prizes. 4th place, it's a car kit here, basically here.
Cowboy care package for your car.
Car package.
So you get to, deck out your vehicle. This is some cowboy representation. Yeah. Love to see it. You have some decals. You have flags,
lanyard. You got the frame,
license plate thing. Yeah.
Great stuff there. That's 4th place though. You can make it yours first if you want. This is 3rd place, which I personally love. It's a customizable shirt, any name any last name in the back there, any number. But then you also get a fantastic one-of-a-kind hat, the embroidered signature of Micah Parsons with the number 11 and repping that star on that front, Dallas style. Much love to the Lunatic making this happen. These are like one-of-a-kind type of things here. Don't forget, 1st and 2nd place. Jason, 1st place and 2nd place, each of them. Again, 4 different winners. 1st place will have a choice of any sewn and stitched jersey for any team, any number. Not any number, any team. Any player available. But it's for the Cowboys. That's 1st place. 2nd place is the same thing. 1st and 2nd place, there's no difference unless you want to choose one of the other packages, right? Instead, you can go grab it and this could go to somebody else. But 1st place is a jersey. 2nd place is also a jersey, sewn and stitched. A lot of players to choose from in styles. 3rd place, both of these products, both of these prizes, the hat and the t-shirt. And then, of course, 4th place, all of these prizes for your car and the Cowboy fan in you. So, again, there you go, guys. Much love to the Lunatic for making this thing happen. It's gonna be done at halftime of the Eagle game, so you got a lot of time to stack them up. And hey, if you guys miss a day, you got another day to stack it up. I will say it might be a little lighter on the streams, during this weekend because my birthday weekend. So we're gonna be doing stuff, and the Cowboys are of course off for 10 days, so we'll probably take a day or two off. But you can still have other days around the missed days. To throw in there. You could even throw down in the Cash App or in the thanks button. Other ways to give the love here, even when we're not live. Even when we're not going live. Even if we're going live at night in the daytime. There's other ways, and we take that and still stack, the totals for your raffle entries. You know how it goes, right, Jason? And everybody else watching, much love to the man, the lunatic, for making this thing happen. Can't wait. But first, we got the Seahawks to pluck. Fuck them. So anyways, baby, again, I think we did everything as far as the shout-outs. I think we did everything for the raffle information. Yeah. Why don't you do the final comments and shout-outs as we wrap it up tonight on My Cowboys Family?
No, of course. Let me see. Jason Renfro. Again, we'll hopefully see more Michael Gallup as the offense continues to develop and guys continue to show up.
What was the comment?
Saying that why are they not using Gallup?
Yeah, I mean, they seem to like, what Tolbert's doing better right now, be honest, even with the money that's being made. Tolbert's getting more separation. Tolbert's playing better right now.
So, let me see here. We also have Mike Aldana.
Yeah.
Much love. Amazing games. Representing. Let me see. Who else do we have here? Lil Dolls Cowboy. I shouted you out already. Skeptical fan, always staying skeptical.
Always.
The real J. Prue. Hannibal King 47.
Hannibal.
I'm just making sure I hit up everybody. Snug X, of course. You know why he's here.
Snug.
Marissa Sparkle. Thanks for coming through.
Marissa in the house. Yes.
We have Lord Azen. Yep, Lord Azen. Thank you. Hello and hi. Have a great night. Hannibal King, of course. Mike Aldana, much love. Just kind of going back here. Skeptical fan. Dave Brown.
Dave in the house. Hey.
And yeah, I think,
and there we go.
Perfect. I was just about to say, I'm like, I think I can't go back any farther. So perfect timing there, Amazing Games.
Ooh.
Who came to say hello and hi with the $5.
So you're telling me he put 5 on it?
Yes, I am, because he said.
What did he say?
My FCF $5 drop. West
Boom.
Coast love.
Boom, just like that. And just like that, the man jumps into, I'll tell you right now, baby.
So
third place all by himself.
Oh, there you go.
Behind Marissa Sparkle and Stanley Smith. So Amazing Games is in third. Well, let me say it this way. Stanley Smith is in first right now. Marissa Sparkle in second. Amazing Games in third, by the way, halfway to another raffle entry, right? Which continues tomorrow if you like. And then you got in fourth place a tie between Skeptical Fan and Jason Renfro. Much love to you guys. And the list continues. The ballers keep rocking it here. Thank you guys on that side. With guys like Hannibal King there, currently in 6th place.
So, and again, thank you again. Amazing Games. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that was everybody here chilling, hanging with us in the chat. So
I meant to say also, those that dropped the love today, let me shout you guys out. They didn't do those shout outs yet. Let me shout out those that dropped the love from above. And again, building up to raffle entries for these 4 prizes coming up in 2 weeks. So much love to Stanley Smith, Marissa Sparkle, Amazing Games. I'm also saying the order you guys are in on the board. Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Hannibal King, Calvin Richard, Zach Luna, Prince Jackson, and Brandon James. Can't do this without your guys' love and support on all sides of this thing. And baby, please let me know why we do this on My Cowboys Family each and every night here on this little channel we call here My Cowboys Family, on this little part of YouTube for the last 6 years plus. Why do we do this, baby, every night?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, here we rep that star always over everything. And here for 6 years plus, 7 seasons in this thing, doing our thing every day. Here on YouTube, here on My Cowboys Family, never ever forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, Go Cowboys. Let's get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all again for dropping the knowledge, dropping the love, giving us your 2 cents on our Cowboys and how, what you think going forward in this thing. Again, much love to the Lunatic for getting this raffle thing going. Cannot do this without your love and support and just little love back from the family to the family. Love to see it, and good luck to all in this raffle. Extra special shout out to the man, the Lunatic. But baby, before we can officially drop out of here for the night and clock out for the night, relock and reload to see how our Texas Coast offense will fare against this Seattle defense. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Before we can drop out for the night, what do we got to do?
We got to drop the beat.
That beat's been dropped. It's a wrap here on My Cowboys Family. As I said, Jason Renfro still leading that stream boss with 30 points. Much love to him. Snug doing his thing up there on the sponsor of the week back-to-back and the Cash App. And, of course, Mary Alvarez, the queen of the membership side of things. But Stanley Smith took over the big board, sponsor of the week and Cash App for now. And you got Skeptical Fan leading the way on that gifting board. Guys, thank you for joining us for another one here in My Cowboys Family. Yes, another one in the book here. Another discussion, another chat in the book. Whether it's Dak talking about being, Dad Prescott, or Micah talking about the referee blindness out there. Daron Bland celebrating, and everyone's talking about him. We're focusing on the Seahawks plucking the Sea Chickens. That's the hope on Thursday Night Football, prime time, so to speak. Here on MCF, it's about that navy blue, that silver too, that star over everything. Never forget the number one thing, right here in My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone in the house, even the hater or two that's always around. Thank you all for joining us. Hit the like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another one. Have a great night. Stay safe. Peace. And never, ever, 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 never, ever forget, Go Cowboys!